Hi, good morning. Sorry, good evening to all of you. Hi, good morning. Sorry, good evening to all of you. Hi, good evening. Sorry. Yeah, very good evening. Yeah, updated written we can take in the last also because transfer pricing is an important. That's why. Yeah, we can start within 2 or 3 minutes, ma. All of you, very good evening. For CMA enter tomorrow onwards, I will start, ma. Don't think about it. Sir, I open a coaching institution. Okay, not open, sir. I think within a week I will open. I want to incorporate my coaching institution as an LLP. So not as a sole proprietor, limited liability partnership firm. I think you know what are the tax rates are applicable for that also. If I'm incorporated as a private company, yes, the tax rates you know. But I want to have the presumptive taxation provisions. That's why presumptive taxation provisions are not applicable for the private companies as well as any other company. So that's why now I'm taking the registration in the form of LLP. Yeah. Yeah, that is only. Yes, sir. Try to communicate in Hindi, sir. Okay, I understood only little bit Hindi only. So that's why please try to type that message in English. Okay. Okay. So straight away we can start our discussion. Yeah, straight away we can start our discussion with the new chapter. What is the chapter name? Ma? Transfer pricing. Yes. Before going to start the transfer pricing chapter, so within 7 working days, you will get my. I will do speed post, even though the courier charges are more also, but I'm preferably want to do the speed post only. Within 7 working days, you will get. Yeah, it is an chapter forming part of an international taxation. So it is an A category topic. Definitely, we can get that more marks from this chapter. So transfer pricing. What is it? Weightage they are given in every exam. 4 MCQs pakka. Always they will give you 4 MCQs in a series. That means in consecutively they are given the yes 4 MCQs. Ma. Sir, in one attempt they are given the 3 descriptive questions. Next, in that one attempt they are trying to give only 2 descriptive questions only. Updated written we can do in the last 5 to 10 minutes, or we can extend the session also, but first I want to cover this important chapter transfer pricing. After that I will cover the updated return. Don't think about it, please concentrate on this chapter, ma. Very good evening to all of you. Yeah, so what is it most frequently they are given the weightage for this chapter in every attempt 29 marks. Some attempts they are reducing the one descriptive questions from this chapter. They are given this one descriptive question to the DTAA chapter. Yeah, DTAA chapter. So if you are observing the what is that DTAA weightage next chapter, I think DTAA only. One or two MCQs they are given and one descriptive question only regularly they are asking from this chapter. That is also descriptive practical question they are asking. Some cases they are asking one more extra question. So if you are aggregated the weightage of these two chapters, definitely you will get 40 marks. Definitely you will get how many marks, ma? 40 marks from these two chapters. Sir, what is that exclusive weightage for the transfer pricing chapter? Definitely you will get a 22 to 29 marks. There is no compromise in this weightage also. Definitely you will get in 22 to 29 marks. Straight away we can start the discussion. Please bear with me for 2.5 hours. 2 to 2.5 hours we can solve the problems also. Yes, shall we start our discussion with the transfer pricing chapter, ma? Yeah. Give me confirmation from your side. You, I think you know what is the importance of this chapter. So then straight away we can start the discussion related to transfer pricing chapter. I will cover the every model one problem also. Don't think about the problems coverage. I will tell you and I will give you the list of important problems also. Now we can start directly. Yes, discussion with the transfer pricing chapter. You have to allocate 2 to 2.5 hours definitely without any deviation. I will give you pakka confidence about this chapter. Okay. So I think you know some theory about the tax avoidance. What is it? Tax avoidance. Can you tell me? Tax avoidance, if anything is done by the SSC's department, always wants to prevent the tax avoidance. How they can prevent the tax avoidance? First one, they can impose the specific anti-avoidance rules. So if any tax avoidance is there, definitely we want to prevent. That means avoidance is there. We want to prevent that and avoidance. That's why we can introduce the anti-avoidance rules. In shortcut, we can call it as an SAR. In exam also, they can give it as an SAR only. Specific anti-avoidance rules. Sir, what do you mean by the specific anti-avoidance rules? In the provisions itself, they can write the yes anti-avoidance rules. Edition 3 also manageable, sir. Remember, this is an PCBP chapter provision. Yes, this is a capital gain chapter provision. Entire clubbing provision in our intermediate level is introduced in order to prevent the tax avoidance only. Example, I have more income. My wife is not having the any income. Definitely, if I am transferring my income to my wife, it isn't tax avoidance only. So they know this type of tax avoidances. That's why they introduced if a husband transfers anything to that wife as a gift, that should be clubbed in the hands of husband only. Like that provisions they are already introduced in the act. So this is only called as specific anti-avoidance rules. So our entire chapter of transfer pricing is also an example of an specific anti-avoidance rule only. Example of what must specific anti-avoidance rules only. Whenever there is no space of specific anti-avoidance rules, if there is no specific anti-avoidance rules, on that occasion we can apply the general anti-avoidance rules. It is in one separate chapter in our discussion also. So I think you have to know about why this chapter is there. Some SSCs are doing the tax avoidance. Yes, in this area, that means in international transactions or in specified domestic transactions, they are avoiding the tax. In order to prevent the avoidance, a department introduced one chapter. It is only called as what? Transfer pricing. So for understanding the transfer pricing chapter, this is an example is very important. This example is very important. Please concentrate on this example. Yes, I will tell you. Without this example, maybe you can't understood the chapter in a proper way. Remember, yes. A Limited is an Indian company and B Limited is a foreign company. Whatever the things I'm highlighting here, yes, please check it out. So A Limited is an Indian company, B Limited is a foreign company. What is the relationship between these two companies? Indian company is a holding company and this foreign company is a subsidiary of that holding company. So we can say related companies, related parties, but in taxation language we need to call it as an associated enterprises. We can call it as an what? Associated enterprises. Now, so I think you know this company is located in India and this company is located in country X. Normally, India, you know, for company, what is the tax rate? This is a domestic company. What is the tax rate? Okay, 25% or maybe 30% you have to pay the tax. But that related company is located in the no tax as low tax jurisdiction. That means if you have income, no need to pay the tax. Or if they are levying the tax also, they are levying with a low rate of tax only. So definitely here, if they are getting income also, that is not taxable or taxed with a low rate only. But in India, you know, what is the tax rate? 25% or 30% for the domestic companies. So what is the transaction entered between these two companies? Yes, our Indian company is purchasing the computers. Indian company is done what? Purchasing the computers. So actually, what is a transaction price? What is a transaction they entered with the 18,000? That means we paid how much amount for every computer? 18,000. But what is a fair market value? I will tell you how to calculate this arm's length price. In simple terms, we can call it as a fair market value. In market, that computers, the value is 12,000 only. But our Indian company at the time of purchasing, yes, definitely it is an expenditure. Purchase means we are paying how much amount to that our related company 18. But our obligation is nothing but 12,000, but we paid excess amount of how much amount? 6,000 per computer we paid. Because of excess payment, net profit is reduced. Definitely what happened? Net profit or total income of an Indian entity is reduced. So that's why SSC is very happy only because yes, low income is there. Yes, low income is taxable with the 25 or 30%. Can you tell me what is a debited amount? 18,000. It is not correct. We have to debit with the 12,000 only. Next, sir, what about the other party side? Other party side, they are credited the 18,000. So because of this credit, net profit increase, but no problem. Why? Because the company located in the no tax as well as a low tax jurisdiction, even though the net profit or total income increased also, nothing will be happen here. Are you understood why we are introducing the transfer pricing provision? The related parties are entered into the transaction with the whatever that amount they want. That is not correct. We have to replace the transactions with the arm's length price only. Now, can you tell me, if you applied the arm's length price, what is the total income of our Indian entity we have to increase? Every computer 6,000 we have to increase. That is only section 92. Yes, that is only what? Section 92. Yes, in this chapter we have to learn the section numbers also. So that's why, yes, I will write it on the yes sections list. You can write along with me. So don't sit ideal. Yes, if you want to get a marks and if you want to get a confidence, write along with me section numbers. If you write at least once, then you can remember the list of sections what we have. What is a section 92? Yes, after 10 minutes you will get the complete overall view of the chapter, but write it down. Yes, computation of, what is that? Computation of income from, computation of income from what transactions? international transactions. I will tell you what do you mean by the international transaction also. So here we computed that income from international transaction. Because of the computation of income, what is the total income? We increased with the help of ALP 6,000. Sir, what is the section 92? It is only that important. We have to apply the transfer pricing provision. Transfer pricing provision application means we have to adapt the ALP. Based on the ALP, the total income of our Indian entity will increase. So that is only the content of section 92. If any international transaction is happened, definitely we need to compute that income based on the what ALP. Based on ALP. This is only the main section. Now, section 92, please try to remember. If you understood the section 92, now I want to discuss the next point. Yes, please turn the next page. Yes. What do you mean by the transfer pricing provisions, ma? Transfer pricing provisions means when the transfer pricing provisions will apply if SSE entered into the international transaction. Not 92 Sira, please listen, 92 only. Next, international transaction. Second one, specified domestic transaction. If any transaction is entered by the SSE, for that SSE, transfer pricing provisions will apply. What do you mean by the transfer pricing provisions? Simply, we have to compute ALP. Based on ALP, we have to recompute the total income. We have to recompute the total income. Are you clear? So now our next section in our discussion, I want to start with the section, okay, 92A we need to start, but the third one directly I will start, that is a 92B. So 92B is talking about what do you mean by the international transaction? What do you mean by the international transaction? Remember. What do you mean by the international transaction? I will tell you what is a 92C also. Remember, ma? Okay. What is that? 92B, international transaction. Remember, international transaction means if any transaction is happened between two associated enterprises, at least one of the associated enterprise is a non-resident. Repeat along with me. If any transaction, that may be sale, purchase, yes, let out, yes, interest or interest paid, interest received, anything. So the transaction happened between two associated enterprises. One of the associated enterprise, if that is a non-resident, definitely we can apply the transfer pricing provisions. That means we have to compute the total income based on ALP. Now, our discussion turned into, sir, what do you mean by the associated enterprises? So now, our next section is nothing but 92A only. So, what do you mean by the associated enterprises? What do you mean by the associated enterprises? Remember. What do you mean by the associated enterprise? Before going to that associated enterprise, now I want to talk about the international transaction is done, and I want to talk about the deemed international transaction. I am expecting this concept as an MCQ also. Remember, it is an important. Yeah. So I am classifying the geographical location into India as well as outside India. Yes, it is an outside India. It is an India. So in India, one company is there. What is that company name? C Limited. It is a subsidiary to the A Limited. Can you tell me these two are definitely we can say associated enterprise. If any transaction happened between these two entities, the transaction is called as what? International transaction, because one associated enterprise is a non-resident. Definitely we can say it as an international transaction. That's why if this is an international transaction, we have to increase the total income of the Indian entity by using the transfer pricing provisions. That's why they want to avoid this type of treatments. So that's why they are taken the help of the unrelated party. They're taking the help of unrelated party. Remember, this unrelated party given the service to the our Indian entity on 6/6/2024. 6/6/2024. But before this date itself, these both the parties have an agreement. That is only important word. Prior agreement. There is a prior agreement between these two entities. What is a prior agreement? Yes, you have to provide the services to my related parties, sir. So, can you tell me, these terms are decided by this company only. Whatever the unrelated party provided the services to the C Limited, that services related terms and agreement related conditions are decided by the A Limited. That's why. Yes, whatever the transaction happened between these two entities also will be treated as deemed international transaction. Now, for this also we have to apply the transfer pricing provisions. Are you clear? So remember, always international transaction includes the deemed international transaction. Remember, yes, if directly they are entered into the transaction, it is an international transaction. But if any unrelated party help they are taken, with the help of unrelated party, if any service provided, or if any sale transaction, if any purchase transaction. But remember, before entering into the service, prior agreement must be in existence between these other party and unrelated party. Prior agreement is very important term here. Now, so we understood the international transaction. Now, in order to call one transaction as an international transaction, the transaction must be happened between the associated enterprise. Now, our discussion turned to the, what do you mean by the associated enterprises? Shall we start our discussion? It is a 7-mark important concept also. Associated enterprise, we need to start our discussion. Shall we start, ma? Give me reply for... Within 10 minutes, you will get a complete clarity and complete overview of the chapter, why we are learning all the things also. Yes, please bear all the things. Next. Before starting the associated enterprises concept, before starting the what, ma? Associated enterprise concept. So just one general point and very important point I want to communicate to you. So transfer pricing provisions always favorable to the department only, because we are avoiding the tax. So that's why they introduced these provisions, and they are increasing our Indian entity total income. So that's why these provisions are always favorable to whom? Department. Okay, remember, if you are applying the arm's length price or fair market value, if your total income increased or loss decreased, then we can apply the transfer pricing provisions. Then we can apply the transfer pricing provisions. Sir, if I am applying the ALP or fair market value, yes, then here total income decreased, sir. Total income decrease or loss increase. In this occasion, transfer pricing provisions will not apply. In our exam also, definitely they will give you this type of question. Yes, you have to write, because if I am applying that ALP or fair market value, if total income decreased or loss increased, on that occasion we can write it down as a note point. In this case, the transfer pricing provisions will not apply. Now, we can discuss the next concept, that is an associated enterprises. Section 92A is nothing but what, ma? Associated enterprises. Now we can discuss the associated enterprise concept. Remember, yes, I will go in a speed manner. Please catch up that all the points, ma. A Limited is invested the 55% in the B Limited. B Limited invested the 56% in the C Limited. So now I can say So more than 51% or equal to 51% investment in other company if there, yes, directly we can say the two companies are what associated enterprise. That means subsidiary and holding relationship will be in existence. So now I will tell you A, B are directly associated enterprises. Now A, C also associated enterprises. How ma? Indirectly. BC directly, AB directly, but what is the relationship between the A and the C, sir? Indirectly associated enterprises. Next, the same point I want to tell you again. A Limited invested how much amount in Bima? 60%. A Limited again invested in how much amount, ma? 61% in D. So A Limited as well as B Limited are directly associated. A Limited and D Limited are directly associated, but B and D also associated enterprise because they have a common control. B and C also associated enterprise because they have a common control by A. So next, B invested in C is 57. D invested in E 58%. What is that? 58. So can you tell me directly associated enterprise, but upon these all the enterprise who have a common control? A. So that's why BE associated enterprise, CD associated enterprise and BD associated, all are associated enterprise with each other because they have a common control, or we can call it as an ultimate parent they have. They have an ultimate parent. Are you clear up to now? Now, so here also we have one more concept, associated enterprise including deemed associated enterprise. This is only examination important area. 7 marks. Last 2 attempts they are not at all tested. Remember. Sir, how we can say deemed associated enterprise? They are given the, yes, CE also associated enterprises only. CE also associated enterprise. Please check it out. For C, D, E are associated enterprise. For C, D, E are associated enterprise with all are associated enterprises only because they have an ultimate parent A. Next. Sir, I will tell you how many points deemed associated enterprise related. I think we have an 12 points. If these 12 points, any one of the point is satisfied also, the two companies are treated as, or the two entities are treated as deemed associated enterprises. First one, more than 26% of direct or indirect holding by the enterprise. A invested in B 33%, B invested in C 30%. Sir, here holding must be in equity shares. Holding means not preference, debt or etc. Only in equity. More than or equal to that you should remember. So here AB directly, BC directly deemed associated enterprise. But what about A and C? Indirectly. A and C also associated enterprise, that is indirectly. So we can write deemed associated enterprise or you can write associated also. Nothing will be the difference, but you have to remember by using this more than or equal to 26% also we can get the associated enterprise by using the deeming provision. So second point. Sir, Mr. A having 40% in X Limited, Mr. A having the 50% in the Y Limited. Now, you know already based on first point, these two are associated. These two also associated. But here, they have the common holding by the A Limited. So, that's why X and Y Limited are also deemed associated enterprise. What is the rate? More than or equal to 26% of voting power. How you can get the voting power? If you are holding in the equity shares of other entity, then only you will get the voting power. Next, X Limited is given the loan to the Y Limited. How much amount of loan, ma? 60 crore. Y limited book value of a total asset is 100 crore. Can you tell me, please calculate the 51% of net book value of assets ma 51 lakh. Sir, I am given the loan that is more than or equal to, here also what is the equation, more than or equal to the net book value of the total asset. If this X limited is asking the repayment, how much amount of that asset they need to resell, sir, more than 51% of that asset they need to sell. So that's why, yes, we can influence this company automatically by using this loan given point. So that's why these two are treated as what deemed associated enterprise. Remember what is the equation? Loan more than or equal to 51% of total asset. Yes. Next one. Sir, P Incorporation taken the only one loan from the bank. They don't have any other loans, only 100 lakh. So, but A Limited is given the guarantee of the debt is nothing but 20%. So that means if P Incorporation fails, who can pay that amount to the bank, A Limited? That's why if your guarantee is more than or equal to, yes, more than or equal to 10%, yes, these two companies are guarantee given or guarantee taken parties are always treated as what deemed associated enterprises. Next one. Yes, ma, please change your version 3 and version 4 also. You can place here more than or equal to. Please change more than or equal to. So that is an, okay, maybe error or whatever it may be. So more than or equal to that one, ma. Sir, Mr. A having the profit sharing ratio in partnership firm or in AOP in BOI, that is an 15%. Sir, if any person having the interest means nothing but profit sharing ratio in this type of entities more than or equal to 10%, yes, that person and that entity are always treated as what deemed associated enterprises. Deemed associated enterprises. Next one. Y Limited appointed the directors in the X Limited. 8 directors they appointed, but total how many directors are there in X Limited? 15. Can you tell me if appointment of the directors the more than 50%? Can you tell me 50% means nothing but 8. More than 50% of directors are appointed by Y Limited. Yes. While you are checking the executive director, at least one executive director also appointed by this company. Yes, these two companies are treated as what deemed associated enterprise. What is the relationship? Yes, again I am saying more than 50% of directors or one or more executive directors are appointed by any company in other company. The two companies are treated as associated enterprises only. Next, A Limited is appointed the 10 directors out of how many? 15. So that's why based on above point, these two are deemed associated enterprises only. But A Limited is an appointed the 2 executive directors also in KLM Limited. Can you tell me based on above point, these two also treated as deemed associated enterprise? But now these two companies appointments of one director and another executive directors. The majority of directors are one executive director appointed by A Limited. So that's why XYZ Limited as well as KLM Limited also treated as deemed associated enterprises. Also treated as what? Deemed associated enterprises. Next point. Sir, X Limited doing the manufacturing business or processing or any business, but they are depending 100% on intangibles provided by the Y Limited, not 99 also. Totally we are depending upon the intangibles like patents, copyrights and know-how. If they are stopping this supply of intangibles to the X Limited business will be closed. That's why definitely we can influence the X Limited. That's why these two parties also treated as deemed associated enterprise. What is that? Percentage we have to check, intangibles dependency we have to check 100%. Dependency of intangibles we have to check 100%. Next, there is a very important, yes, listen carefully. Y Limited is supplying the raw material to the X Limited, but X Limited for doing the manufacturing they want a raw material. But can you tell me how much extent of the raw material? That means if I required 100%, that 100% raw materials I required, but out of that 100%, how much extent they are supplied? 95%. If the 95% means that is a more than or equal to how much? 90. If any supplier of raw material is supplied the more than 90% or equal to 90% of raw material under influenced prices and condition. So if normally they supplied, okay, that is a genuine only, no need to treat as deemed associated enterprise. If they are supplied under influenced prices and conditions, definitely we can say, yes, these two are deemed associated enterprises. Sir, I can rely on one supplier of raw material. If they are supplying normally along with the fair market value, it's okay. If they are doing at influenced prices and condition, definitely we can apply the deemed associated enterprise relationship. Here, the many students are confusing. Sir, raw material supply is there, that is a more than 90 or equal to 90. Sir, directly we can write that answer as deemed associated enterprise. No, if that is done at an influenced prices and conditions, then only you can mention it as an deemed associated enterprises. Next, A Limited is supplying the, say one product to the B Limited. B Limited is doing some value addition activities. Now that is sold to the C Limited. So can you tell me now what is the transaction between the B Limited and C Limited? Same. But what is the price? What is the credit period? What is the delivery terms? These are all the things needs to be decided by both the parties only. But here who are decided? A Limited. So that's why, can you tell me B Limited and A Limited are treated as deemed associated enterprise because A Limited is creating the influence on B Limited. So they are only decided the terms of the sale with the other parties. So that's why who are creating influence A Limited, who are under influence B Limited. That's why these two parties are treated as deemed associated enterprises. Are you clear? Next, last two points. Remember. One enterprise is controlled by one individual. So based on control, that means definitely we can say associated enterprise only. Yes. Next, another enterprise. Now I'm talking about this Y Limited. There is another enterprise. This another enterprise is controlled by yes, Miss B. Mr. B is relative to the Mr. A. One enterprise is controlled by individual and other controlled by himself or by his relative or with a jointly. Now what is the twist here? These two are deemed associated enterprises. These two are treated as what deemed associated enterprises. Remember, one enterprise is controlled by individual, another enterprise is controlled by individual or with a relative or jointly with a relative also. Now these two entities also treated as an deemed associated enterprise. Same point, updated version. HUF is controlling the one entity. That's why these two always we can treat as an associated enterprise. But other entity is controlled by HUF or member of HUF, relative of HUF, jointly. Now these two entities also treated as what deemed associated enterprise. These 12 points you should remember for doing the 7-mark question. So associated enterprise definition is given in 92A, but we have to discuss about the deemed associated enterprise. One important point now I am revealing. These percentages are there now. Yet any time during the previous year, if you have an percentages also for that entire year, that the two companies are treated as deemed associated enterprise. Please remember, again I am repeating. Sir, just one day I hold at the 33%, sir. Next day I sold the total holding in the B. But no problem. For that entire year, both the parties are treated as deemed associated enterprises only. Example. We are depending 100% intangibles of Y Limited for 1 month, sir. After that, we are not depending. No issue. Yet any time, that means 1 month also okay. For that entire year, both the parties are treated as deemed associated enterprises only. Yes, now. In workbook, based on deemed associated enterprise, I given the few questions. But definitely, you have to refer this question. Question number 3. If you refer the question number 3, the remaining always are very easy. So due to time constraint, I will take the first 2 questions of the question number 3. Yes, please check it out. A Limited is a foreign company. What is that? Shareholding 30% in the B Limited with effect from 1/4/2024. So first day onwards we have 30%. That's okay. More than 26% are equal, also happy. Next, B Limited is going for public issue in August. Post public issue, after public issue, A Limited shareholding is reduced to what, 22%. Definitely the share capital is increasing because of public issue. So that's why automatically before our share capital in the B Limited is 30%. Now that is reduced to 22. Many students are confusing, sir. They are given the two shareholdings. Not two, yes, from the starting of the year, if you verified till August, we have how much? 30%. After August, the shareholding percentage reduced because of public issue. No problem. At any time during the previous year, if you are having the 26% or more, for that entire previous year, 24-25, we can treat these two entities are what, deemed associated enterprises. Next, I want to take the question number 2. I want to take question number 2. F Limited UK, G Company Limited Mumbai, one company is non-resident, another company. What is the shareholding, 10%. Starting of the year, they have 10. But more than 90% of raw material supplied by the F Company Limited. But under influenced prices, point are not given. Don't consider that. Next, after December, they stopped the purchase of raw material from the F Company Limited. I don't want to consider this raw material condition because they have not mentioned anything clarity about the under influenced prices. Next, in January, they went for private placement. Can you tell me private placement means existing shareholders only will get the shares again. So now existing shareholder having the 10% in our example. So after that January, shareholding is increased to how much amount? 27%. So I don't want to consider the raw material point because they have not mentioned anything about the under influenced prices, etc. So now, sir, up to January, what is the shareholding? 10%. After January, so what is that shareholding? 27%. So now can you tell me at any time during the previous year, if you are having the more than or equal to 26% for that entire the previous year, you can be called as an what, deemed associated enterprises only. Are you clear? So I want reply. So now I haven't feel of so I'm taking the class for myself only. That's why please try to give the reply. If you understood, okay. So please try to revise these questions on the own, and I'm given the answer also. No, just one question for you only. This question answer you have to type. They are asking whether the transfer pricing provisions will apply or not. First, you have to check whether they are an associated enterprises or deemed associated enterprise. Please check. Then you can decide. If these are associated enterprise or deemed associated enterprise. If the transaction happened between them, we can treat as an international transaction. Automatically, we can apply the what, transfer pricing provisions. Now you have to decide whether these are the associated enterprises or not. All of you, please try to tell me the second question, that too second case, DEF LLP UK and 28% voting power in the PQR, and tell me they are saying 28% from the 1/4/2025. So can you tell me that associated enterprise or deemed associated enterprise relationship will be there or not? Yes, no. Answer is no. Sir, we have to check that whether deemed associated enterprise relationship is there or not for the previous year 24-25. But here the shareholding is starting from the next year. So that's why there is no deemed associated enterprise relationship for these previous year 24-25. For 24-25, there is no deemed associated enterprises relationship. So then what about the next year 25-26? Yes, we can say there is a deemed associated enterprise relationship. It is a well-designed trap. It is a past exam question only. It is your past examination question only. Now, so whoever said that as a no, yes, definitely they are my regular batch or they are my fast track or exam oriented batch students only. So don't think about it. It is a designed trap only. So please try to do the practice remaining things. This is only the twisted questions in the deemed associated enterprise relationship. Don't take it as a light. Always they are given these questions for 7 marks in your exam. Now, so my discussion turned to the next concepts. My discussion turned to the next concept. Sir, what are the areas we have to prepare from this transfer pricing chapter? First, we have to prepare the associated enterprise concept. Okay, associated enterprise concept. Next, methods for computation of ALP, but I will discuss in the last. Methods for computation of ALP, I will discuss in the last. Okay, next area we have to cover advance pricing agreement, then primary adjustment and secondary adjustment. Next, thin capitalization, this is only section 94B, and the remaining concepts also you have to prepare. Only one concept is done. That's why I'm asking the time up to 2.5 hours from your side. Okay, no problem. I will there. Okay, if you are having any works after 10, you can leave the session and you can watch tomorrow also. So as a recorded session, no problem. So definitely I want to take that half an hour more. So don't think about the time. I will close it down. If I am saying in a speed manner also, some students will not understood the transfer pricing chapter, because the basics and return of income now you can understood well. So the transfer pricing chapter, if I am going a speed manner, like, okay, I want to tell myself, yes, definitely I can complete within 2 or 1.5 hours also. So that's why please concentrate. I want to give that all the questions related to the twist and the traps also. Now, so before going to the next concept, next section now I want to introduce, that is a 92C. What is the section, ma? 92C. How to compute the arm's length price. So by using different methods, that is only methods for computation of arm's length price. Methods for computation of ALP. How many methods are there? Yes, remember how many methods are there? The total methods are classified into two, transaction based methods, profit based methods. So first, transaction based method is a cup method, resale price method, cost plus method. Profit based methods are what, TNMM method, yes, profit split method, transaction net margin method, any other method. Sir, many of the students are, you are classifying like your own way. No, this is an institute model. So one examination MCQ in the June 24, they are given the 4 methods. They are asking which one is not a transaction based methods. Yes, unfortunately, in past that thing happened, right? So in future, I don't want to repeat that thing. Okay. So I want to teach audit also, but due to time constraint, I don't want to teach audit. But unfortunately, I teach audit in that institution. Unfortunately, only it will not happen in future. Don't think about it. Okay. I will show you that MCQ also. So just for, they are given the question directly. Following method of computing arm's length price is not a transaction based. Yes, this is a transaction based. This is also transaction based. This is also transaction based. Profit split method only, that what, ma? Profit split method is nothing but is a profit based method. So I will tell you what is a profit based and what is a transaction based method also. Now, so many students are asking the doubts regarding, sir, which method we have to select? Most appropriate method you have to select. What is that? Most appropriate method you have to select. Sir, some students are asking that, sir, please teach one problem relating to cup method and resale price method combination. How you can select both practically also? Most appropriate method, always one method only you have to take. In problem also, in practical cases also, we have to select the what ma? Most appropriate method only. Wait a minute. So yes, we have to select the what ma? Most appropriate method only we have to select. I will tell you. So example I am taking ma, listen carefully. A Limited is an Indian company. Yes, B Limited is an foreign company. These two companies are associated enterprises. One transaction is happened between these two companies, that is a sale transaction. So definitely they will enter with the actual transaction price. But now we have to compute the ALP. What is that base? How to compute the ALP? Here I will tell you, this A Limited is entered into the sales transaction with the unrelated party. Unrelated party 1. Yes ma, unrelated party 1. So now what is that the price charged here? That is an ALP only. Example, yes ma, 120 per unit they are charged. So directly we can say this is an ALP only. Directly we can say this is an ALP only because we can compare. Yes, this is only comparable uncontrollable transaction. This is only called as comparable uncontrollable transaction. So comparable uncontrollable transaction. So why you can call? Because we can compare these two transactions because there is no control here, but in these two entities, between these two entities always influence is there, control will be there, but here uncontrollable. So if data is voluminous, like they are given the one more unrelated party 2, unrelated party 3, like if they are given the more and more data, directly you will get the what ma? More and more ALPs. This is an ALP2, this is an ALP3, this is an ALP4. Remember, you can compute the number of ALPs as per the most appropriate method. If data is voluminous, directly you will get the more than one ALP also. So if you got one ALP, the data is restricted. You got one ALP, that is only the final. So if you have a more number of ALPs, what you need to do? What you need to do? So I will tell you directly, if I got an ALPs from most appropriate method, the number of ALPs are less than 6. What I need to do ma? Average. Less than 6 ALPs, you have to do average. So here in our example, we have an 4 ALPs. Please type your answer. These 4 ALPs as per one method, that method is a most appropriate method. Many students, thus this is a resale price method ALP, this is a cup method ALP, this is a profit split method, this is an another, that is not possible. Practically also SSEs will take the out of this method. If the transactions are available, one transaction based method, can you tell me these and transactions are available? So that's why we can take this method as an what ma? Most appropriate method, comparable uncontrollable transaction. That's why this is an transaction based method. So that's why this is a transaction based method. Now I will tell you one point you have to observe here. Sir, actual transaction price 150. Actual transaction price is 150. ALP we computed by using that arithmetic mean or average is 153.5. Sir, for small deviations, don't apply the ALP and compute the total income, and you cannot increase the total income because of small deviations. So I will tell you what is that allowable deviation or tolerable deviation. Remember, 3% or 1% of actual transaction price is allowed as what ma? Deviation. So 3% in normal cases, yes, normal cases, 1% in case of what ma? Wholesale business. Wholesale business. Remember, now you can compute 3% of actual transaction price is 4.5. 3% of that actual transaction price is 4.5. And if you are finding the difference between these two, can you tell me the difference is up to or beyond ma? The difference is up to. So we can bear the deviation up to 4.5. Here deviation is only 3.5 only. That's why no need to take this as an ALP. Actual transaction price itself you can take it as an what ma? ALP. Actual transaction price itself you can take it as an ALP. That means no need to increase the total income. Actual transaction price only can be considered as what ma? ALP. Now second example. So actual transaction price into 3% 4.2. We can bear that deviation up to how much ma? 4.2. But difference between that ALP and actual transaction price here 13.5. So can you tell me the difference is up to or beyond ma? Beyond. So that's why this actual transaction price cannot be considered as ALP, and we need to take that ALP 153.5 and we need to increase the total income of the SSE. Are you clear? All of you, please give me clarity about if the data set of an ALPs are consisting less than 6, we need to do that average, and on that occasion we can provide the what deviation of an 3% or 1% of actual transaction price. Sir, what about if data set containing more than or equal to 6 data of ALP? If the data set containing the more than or equal to 6, then we have to compute the ALP by using the range concept. I will give you the example. I am going in a speed manner. Please catch me. So actual transaction price is 150 ma. Okay, whatever the price they are entered into the transaction with the 150, whatever the arm's length prices are there, 162, 158, 136, 145, 170, 152, 154, they are given. So now we have to compute the ALP. Can you tell me how many data set ma? So data set containing nearly 7, that is a more than or equal to 6. That's why we have to follow the range concept. First step in the range concept, please arrange the data in the ascending order. Can you tell me the low to high? I arranged the data in which order ma? Ascending order. Next, second step I have to take the, please calculate the 35th percentile or 65th percentile on data set. Can you tell me 35th percentile? That means totally we have 7 ma. Please apply 7 into 35 percentage and 7 into 65 percentage. You will get the 2.45, 4.45. Can I locate the 2.45 and 3.45 in the data set ma? No. So that's why go to the next whole number. Next whole number here 3, next whole number here 5. So that's why I can pick the 3 and 5 here. So range can be started from the 152 and the range can be ended with the what ma? 158. In between that only ALP is there. In between that only ALP is there. Can you tell me actual transaction price 150? Can you tell me whether it is a false within the range ma? No. If this is a false within the range, actual transaction price only we can take it as an ALP. But in our example, actual transaction price is within the range or not within the range ma? Not within the range. Remember? So if falls within the range, that is only ALP. But in our example, it is not falls within the range. Then we have to compute the median. Median means, I think you know, 50% of the data set. 7 into, what is a 7 ma? We have a total 7 numbers in data set. So can you tell me 3.5 you got? Yes, if you got in 3.5, can you locate in the data set? No. So that's why go to the next whole number. What is the next whole number? 4. ALP now is 4, that is an 154 is ALP as per the range concept. Are you clear? Now second question, I want to go in a speed manner. Already I given the 1 to 20 ALPs. Already the data is arranged in an ascending order. Please check. The data already arranged in ascending order. Don't do again. So now what is that? 20 into 35 percentage. 20 into 65 percentage, you can calculate, you got 7. But for getting the more accuracy, so 7, maybe you can locate here. 13 means, yes, you can locate here. But in order to get the more accuracy, they are saying, yes, you can do the average with the next number. Can you tell me 7 next number is 8? Yes, 13 next number is 14. Yes, please do average. So 119 plus 120 average and 132, 135 average, you will get these numbers. Remember, if you haven't decimals, go to the next number. Then accuracy will be there. If you haven't already whole number, do average with the what ma? Next number. This is a point you should remember. If you haven't decimals, directly go with the next number. If you haven't whole number, yes, go and do the average with the next. So if actual transaction falls within this range is starting from the 119 ending with the 133. If ATP falls, actual transaction falls within this range, actual transaction price only ALP. If actual transaction price is not falls within the range, then we have to calculate the median. We have to calculate the median. Median means nothing but what? 50% of the total data set. 10 you got. Sir, if you got 10, can you tell me whole number, next number, that is an 125 plus 127, we have to do the average. Finally, you will get the ALP 126. Remember. This range concept is not applicable for the profit split method. This range concept is not applicable for the profit split method. Again, I am saying, yes. Data set containing how many methods, ma? Sorry, data set containing less than 6. Always we have to do the average. More than or equal to 6. Then we have to go with the what, ma? Range concept. But range concept is not applicable for profit split method. Sir, I got a number of ALPs 10 as per the PSM method. Still I need to do that average because the range concept is not applicable for the profit split method. Again, I am saying the range concept is not applicable for the profit split. Remaining all methods, yes. You can apply the range concept. Next, it is an important MCQ. Yes, remember. Sir, here 1 year data only I given. Suppose in that question, practically they will not ask, but I will tell you for MCQ purpose, I given the 1 year data, current year data, and the last year data, and the last year data also I am given. Now, what you can do, ma? So you can do the weighted average range concept. If the multiple years data is given, then you have to follow the weighted average of multiple years data. Can you tell me how many years we can consider? Current year along with the last 2 years only. For these methods only, we can go with the weighted average multiple years data concept. Resale price method, RPM means, CPM means cost plus method, TNMM means transaction net margin method. Are you clear up to now? Yes, this points you should remember, ma. Next, sir, eye-opening concept for that entire transfer pricing provision. Please remember. As of now, you know. So please say hi or any other thing, or your location also, anything you can type in your chat box, then I can identify, yes, you are listening. So maybe you can type your location. I can understood from where you are watching these sessions also. Tomorrow onwards, I will start the CMA inter revision classes. Don't think about it. Yes, you can continue your preparation with other subjects also. Tomorrow onwards, I will start. Kerala super. Vijayawada, Madurai, hi sir, Baboy, Chennai, Lucknow. Arey, please type that cities naturally. Don't say as in space, Mars, Sun, etc. Bobbili, Amalapuram, super. Yes, every time if you got a whole number, you have to do average. If you got a decimal, then next number you have to take. Ishwar, I know you are from JNTU. Likita, I know. Raviped, super. Yes, super ma'am. Remember, profit split method, always you have to go with the average only, irrespective of the ALP numbers. Profit split method. But remaining all methods, yes, less than 6 you have to do average, more than or equal to 6 you have to go with the range concept. So what is a range concept normally? So while applying the range concept, yes, you have to take the 35th percentile or 65th percentile you got. If you got whole number, next digit and that digit average you have to take. If you got decimal, directly you can go with the next digit only. Okay, now. Super. Okay, now this diagrammatic presentation, whatever is there, it is a very important, like whatever the discussion we done in that starting of the session, whatever the example we have taken, purchase of computers, along with that, this example also very important. Listen, whatever the points I am highlighted. SSE entered into the international transaction or specified domestic transactions. Okay, he filed a return of income on the, I think you know, if any SC having the transfer pricing provisions, yes, he needs to file the return of income on or before 30th 11 of an assessment year. He filed the return of income that reached to assessing officer. Now my doubt is, sir, this ALP computation is responsibility of an SSE or responsibility of AO? Your answer I am expecting, Your answer only I am expecting. Sir, ALP computation at the time of doing the return of income itself needs to be computed by ALP or ALP needs to be computed by AO. You have to type either SSE or AO. What your opinion? What is your opinion? Sir, at the time of filing of return of income, SSE needs to compute the ALP or AO needs to compute ALP. Super. Remember, first of all, we have to compute the ALP. At the time of filing of return of income on your self-assessment basis, you only needs to compute that ALP. Whether that ALP is correct or incorrect needs to be re-verified by the or verified by the AO. The many students are doing the mistake. AO, how he can compute that ALP, sir? You have to compute that ALP. With that ALP only, in your return of income, you have to increase your total income or you can decrease the loss also. Yes, then assessing officer with the help of TPO with a prior approval from the above authorities. Who is an above authority to have CIT or Principal Commissioner of Income Tax? At the time of doing that assessment, he can compute the ALP. He is not an expert in that yes, ma, field of computation of ALP. That's why we are taking the help of the transfer pricing officer. Now transfer pricing officer will give the ALP order, that whatever the ALP order given by the TPO, on that who needs to bind it over, ma? AO. Because you are taking the help of the TPO, whatever that ALP order given by the TPO, on that who needs to bind it over? AO needs to bind it over. Based on that, yes, based on that ALP, yes, computed by the TPO, we can pass the assessment order. We can pass the assessment order. I will tell you. I will tell you. Sir, you computed the ALP, ma. Based on that ALP, you are declaring your total income as an 10 lakh. You are declaring total income as an what, ma? 10 lakh. Okay. But after that completion of assessment, assessing officer with the help of TPO, they computed ALP and they are calculated the total income as an 15 lakh. What is that enhanced income? What is that enhanced income done by the AO at the time of doing that assessment, ma? 5 lakh. On these enhanced incomes, you can't take these two deductions, ma. Binded over means you have to follow that whatever the ALP given by the TPO. You have to follow the directions or ALP given by the TPO. So because TPO saying this ALP, based on this ALP, you have to pass the assessment order by increasing the total income of 15 lakh. You have to follow the directions, that is only called as binded over. Yes. So remember, this is an important, these are the two deductions is not available on enhanced income. If you want to get that more and more this type of income based chapter 6A deduction, please declare your ALP properly in the return of income. Then you can declare 15 lakh and you can take on these 15 lakh also deductions. Remember here whatever that enhanced income is there, that is done by the assessing officer, on that these both the deductions are not available. Are you clear? Now, determination of ALP by AO. So normally first you computed that ALP, but remember, I am going in a speed manner, remember. So now you computed that ALP, but assessing officer is not satisfied with the ALP. Now he is giving the reference to whom? TPO. He is given the reference to the TPO. So now in which cases AO shall determine the ALP? In which cases AO shall determine the ALP? Remember, SSE fails to compute the ALP as per most appropriate method. Sir, in our example, cup method is most appropriate method, but you are taken the profit split method. So data used in that computation of ALP is not correct or not reliable. And you have to maintain the documents under section 92D. If any person entered into the transactions, that is an international transaction, you have to maintain the records under section 92D. If you are not maintain the records, or if you are not furnished the records to the assessing officer whenever required, in such cases, ALP can be computed by the AO with the help of whom? TPO. With the help of whom? TPO. Can you tell me here? I already computed, but they want to recompute the ALP. In such cases, definitely for SSE, we have to provide the reasonable opportunity of being heard. Before starting the computation of ALP, give at least one chance to the SSE for communicating with the whom? Assessing officer. That is only called as a reasonable opportunity of being heard. What is that effect? If any enhanced income is increased, if any enhanced income is identified or increased by the whom? Assessing officer, on that these two deductions are not available. And other enterprise, can you tell me, other enterprise means nothing but what? Foreign entity. No need to compute the income of the what? Foreign entity. We have to always concentrate on that Indian entity only. Next. Yes, now want to give the few more sections in this list. I want to give the few more sections in the list. Yeah. So 92C is over. So now fifth one, section 92 CA. So I don't want to take the risk of anything. Yes, reference to TPO. Reference to TPO. Mostly we need to depend on TPO services only. If he is eligible to compute the ALP, yes, he can. Otherwise, we have to refer the case to the TPO only. Reference to the transfer pricing officer. Remember, AO in his opinion, yes, you can find this line. So if required, he can go. Yes, can you tell me when he can decide, we can compute the ALP? I think we decided in the last page only. In these 4 cases, he can decide whether AO needs to recompute the ALP or not. Yes, here AO decided to recompute the ALP because these 4 conditions, any one of the condition is satisfied. You are not selected the best method, you are not following the proper records, you are not furnished the records, and your data is totally incorrect. In all the cases, AO wants to recompute the DLP. Now he has to give the reference to the TPO. Can you tell me, while giving the reference to the TPO, whose prior approval is required? In this diagram itself, we mentioned prior approval of CIT and the Commissioner of Income Tax as well as the Principal Commissioner of Income Tax we can take. Now, sir, this TPO is not a magician, sir. TPO will ask the information directly from whom? SSC only. Remember, AO given the reference with respect to the USA associated enterprise. So nothing but our SSC is entered into transaction with the USA associated enterprise. So that ALP only needs to be computed by TPO. So now TPO, what he needs to do, directly he can send the one notice to the SSC, and SSC required to submit the evidences. Yes, definitely by using these evidences only, TPO can compute the ALP. He is not a magician, he cannot calculate on his own. So always he can send the notice. With the notice response, we can send the evidences. With the evidences only, he can compute the ALP. Now, there is an important line, last attempt question only, remember. Sir, AO given the reference to the TPO with respect of which transaction? USA transaction. USA transaction. But while doing the inquiry or while finding the ALP of USA associated enterprise, during the course of this proceeding, other transactions are discovered by the SSC. Other transactions are discovered by whom? TPO. What is the other transaction here? So nothing but he entered into the transaction with the Australia associated enterprise also. Now he can also consider the other transaction. That is an power of TPO. That is an power of TPO. In simple lines, I will tell you, TPO can determine the ALP in respect of any other international transaction which comes to the notice, regardless of what its value, whether that is an 1 rupee transaction or 2 crores transaction, 5 crore transaction, that is an irrelevant. Always we have to consider the all other transaction which comes to the notice of the TPO while doing the inquiry, while doing the computation of ALP. He can consider that all the things also. Yes, this is only the December 24 question, right? This is only the December 24 MCQ. Maybe how many of you having the awareness also, I don't know. Remember, can you tell me, Essing officer is given the reference of one transaction by the Anuj with the HIJ. So AO responsibility is nothing but given the reference to whom? TPO. So now TPO can consider this is only no. So later he identified some more transactions. What are the transactions? AST LLP Singapore and RST LLP Hong Kong. So then what is the correct statement? TVPO can determine the ALP in respect of any other international transaction. That means he can consider this, and for this also he can compute the ALP which comes to the notice, yes, regardless of its value. This is 4 crore, not important. This is 12 crore, not at all important. Regardless of value, we have to compute the ALP. Are you clear up to now? So this is also one more MCQ in the last attempt. Order passed by the TPO. Can you tell me who needs to follow that order mandatorily? AO. That is only MCQ number. Where it is, right? This is only. Order passed by the transfer pricing officer. Who needs to follow that order mandatorily? AO. So give me confirmation about your understanding up to now. Now, next concept I want to start. It is an independent concept and important concept. 92CC is an advance pricing agreement. (92CC). So now I want to start the next section. After 92CA, we have to start with the sixth one. Section 92CC. What is that, ma? APA. I will write full form. Advance Pricing Agreement. Yes. Next point, ma. Advance Pricing Agreement. Remember, please take this space, and in this I will explain that every point, ma. Sir, why we need to enter into the advance pricing agreement first? Sir, always SSC computed the ALP. SSC computed that ALP as per most appropriate method. But always AO with the help of TPO, yes, he computed that ALP. That is an always, yes, they are increasing the income. That's why they are always saying enhancement of income. They are enhanced the what, ma? Income. So this is an always happen. So that's why definitely SSC can get the frustration also. Sir, we computed the DLP as per the most appropriate method, but you are always rejecting, and you have computed that again ALP with the help of TPO services, and you are doing that enhancement of income. On that enhanced income, I am unable to get the chapter 6A deduction and section 10AA deduction. Now, what is the remedy? So, in order to prevent these things, SSC can directly enter into agreement with the CBDT with the approval of the central government. Your range is very high here, remember. So that agreement only known as advance pricing agreement. In this advance pricing agreement, you can tell the ALP, sir, with the help of that ALP only I will file my return of income. With the help of that ALP only I will file the return of income. Then there is no headache of this type of things. So this is only called as what, ma? Advance pricing agreement. Remember, in this example, X Limited got the advance pricing agreement for this previous year and assessment year. So for, can you tell me, if any year you got an advance pricing agreement starting of the year. So maybe you got an APA in December month, but we can get the applicability of that advance pricing agreement mentioned ALP from the first day of the year. Till how many years, ma? That year and next consecutive how many years? 5 years. Very important. Sir, in this advance pricing agreement, they are given the cost plus method, and this is only ALP. So with the help of that ALP, you can file the returns for how many years? Consecutively 5 years you can follow that. Yes, can you tell me who can bind it over on that APA, advance pricing agreement? CIT, PCIT, AO, SSC. 3 parties also needs to bind it over. SSC, AO, Commissioner of Income Tax, Principal Commissioner of Income Tax. Can you tell me when there is an changes in law or facts? Yes, you can set aside this advance pricing agreement. If there is no changes in law or facts, definitely you have to bind it over on the APA for present year and next 5 consecutive years. Are you clear up to now? Always advance pricing agreement term in future only. That always turn in future only. Now next point. Sir, SSEs can apply for advance pricing agreement. Okay. Only you can apply for advance pricing agreement, or there's an option one. Second one, sir, no sir, I want to get an advance pricing agreement. Along with I want to apply the rollback provisions. Yes, you can apply for this also. Rollback provision means I will tell you, yes, the same ALP mentioned in advance pricing agreement, you can apply for the last 4 years. How many years, ma? Last 4 years. Again, I am repeating, ma. For these 4 years, you can apply the rollback. Sir, without rollback, can I go for advance pricing agreement? Yes. No, sir, I want to get the rollback also. That means whatever that ALP is there, for these years already you filed the return of income. No problem. With the help of this ALP, you can refile the returns again. That returns only called as modified returns. Remember, again I am saying advance pricing agreement means always the future, present year and next 4 years. Rollback means nothing but how many years, ma? Totally 4 years. Array, you can see the current year and next 4 years means total 5. Okay, next. Current year, next 4, total 5. That is only total 5 years including current year. Now this is a very important point, ma. If you want to get the rollback provisions, for these provisions, if you want to get, for these years, if you want to get the rollback, you should file your return of income. You should be filed your return of income on or before the due date. Sir, in this year, you have not filed the return of income on or before the due date. So that's why there is no applicability of rollback. If you want to get the future terms best, you have to apply the rollback. That is only the use of rollback. If you want to get the best ALP for the future, then you may adopt the what, ma? Rollback. Yes. Again I am saying, ma, if you want to apply the rollback provisions for the last 4 years, one condition is nothing but you have to file the return of income on or before the due date. Because of this ALP mentioned in APA, if you computed the total income must be increased or loss should be decreased. Please hold your doubts for 15 minutes, okay? Please hold your doubts for 15 minutes. So, if you are asking all the things in prior, I can't say, please hold your doubts for 15 minutes, okay? Remember, if you applied this ALP for these years, if your total income increased, okay, loss decreased, okay. But, so here you are not filed the return of income within the due date. That's why cancel. Okay. Here total income reduced. That's why for this year also, I don't want to apply the what, ma? Rollback. Last year. Sir, if appeal is disposed by the ITIT, sir, in this year, sir, assessing officer given the order that is not agreed by the SSE, SSE is going for appeals, but appellate authority is ITIT, ITIT is disposed the appeal, so that's why for this year also, you can't apply the rollback. That means, effectively in our example, you can apply the rollback only for 1 year. Sir, rollback is not a selective. If applicable, you have to apply the rollback for all years. But here, for these 3 years, rollback provisions are not applicable. So that's why you can apply the rollback only for the 23-24. Again, I am saying, remember, future total 5 years, you can apply the advance pricing agreement mentioned ALP. Last 4 years, if you want to apply, yes, you can apply for rollback. And can you tell me how many years, ma? Last 4 years. Can you tell me if you want to apply the rollback provision? First condition, return must be filed on or before the due date. Total income must be increased or loss should be decreased. Can you tell me in this case, rollback is not applicable? What is that, ma? If appeal disposed by IT, so that you can't change. That you can't change. That's why for this year also rollback provisions will not apply. Now, I'm reading the theory. Now you can clarify your doubts, ma. Can you tell me CBDT with the help of central government? So APA can be entered with any person. That means SSC can be entered into APA with the CBDT with the prior approval of central government. APA can be valid for how many years, ma? 5 consecutive years. Can you tell me APA shall be binded over on whom? AO, SSC and CIT and Principal Commissioner of Income Tax. Next, APA shall not be bind if there isn't changes in law or facts. If so, change in law or facts is not there. Always we have to bind it over. If anything is nothing but what? Not, that means permanently law is constantly for 5 years. Yes, you have to follow for 5 years. Third year law changed, then you can ignore this. While you are entering into this agreement, you are provided the fraudulent data. So then that advance pricing agreement can be treated as what, ma? Void ab initio. That is only I am saying, hold your doubts for 15 to 10 minutes. Okay. 15 to 10 minutes, hold your doubts. Okay. So what is that, ma? Void ab initio. Next, application for advance pricing agreement. If your value of international transaction exceeding 100 crores, 10 lakh, exceeding 200 crores, sorry, not exceeding 100 crores, sorry, not exceeding 100 crores, 10 lakh, not exceeding, that is a 200, that means 100 to 200, 15 lakh. Next, exceeding 200, what is that, ma? 20 lakh. So you can withdraw the application at any time before finalization of the APA. That means finalization of APA can be done by the HUMA CBDT. Before the finalization of that advance pricing agreement, at any time you can withdraw. What is the form number for the withdrawing? 3CEE. 3CEE. So if you are withdrawing your application, they will not give you the fees as a refund. You will not get any fees as a refund if you are withdrawing an application also. Can you tell me this isn't fees? That's why this isn't for the big SSCs only, not for the small SSCs. Now I want to tell you. Advance pricing agreement rollback. Sir, you can't directly go with the APA also. Both also you can select. Sir, these options are permissible. But sir, no sir. I want only rollback, sir. I don't want to APA. This is not possible. This is not possible. In advance pricing agreement in future, how many years? Current year and next 4 years, totally 5 years. So total income increased also okay, decreased also okay, loss increased also okay, loss decreased also okay. But in rollback, can you tell me what needs to be happen, ma? Total income must be increased, loss should be decreased. Loss should be decreased. Please open the concept book. Yes, you will get the more points relating to this. Yes, more points relating to this. If you want to application for the rollback, yes, this is on form number 3CEDA with a 5 lakh. So rollback related application form number 3CEDA. What is that application fees, ma? 5 lakh. What is that application fees, ma? 5 lakh. So this is some points are enough for understanding, ma. So applicant has an option to withdraw rollback application while he is maintaining that what my advance pricing applications are. Sorry sir, I am applying the rollback, but I don't want to roll back, sir. I want to continue APA. Yes, no problem. But rollback is cannot be accepted without accepting the what ma APA. These are the points are very important. These are the points are what ma very important. Now I will tell you one more point, then we can do the problems ma. One more point and we can do the problems. Remember, effect of APA is next section is important. Remember. Effect of APA is the next section is important. Please refer. So what is the section number we have to mention? 92 CD. 92 CD. Effect of seventh one. Section 92 CD. Effect of APA. What is that effect of advance pricing agreement, sir? I will tell you. Give me 2 minutes time. I can conclude. Yes, you can follow that. No issue. And you can refer your institute book, ma. No issue. You can refer that institute book. Whatever is there, that is in final. Okay. You can check. I am saying rollback application. You are asking the other advance pricing. I'm saying this is a rollback application for form number. Rollback, not advance pricing agreement. Okay. Next. Remember, previous year 24-25, assessment year 25-26. What is the due date for filing of return of income? 30th 11. We filed also 30th 11 only return of income, but advance pricing agreement given by the CBDT on what date? 17-12. Already we filed return of income for this year, sir. After that filing of return of income, they are given the I can't cover the application here, agreement here in this class, sir. Sorry for this. It will take more time. I don't want to cover. Listen. Yes. Can you tell me, here you applied, you got an advance pricing agreement, but before that you already filed that what ma? Return. Now, this returns, whatever the return you filed, it is not at all correct. Why? You have to file a modified return by using this advance pricing agreement mentioned ALP. Yes. From this month end, that means advance pricing agreement month end, within 3 months you have to file the modified return. This is an important, always they are given this concept. So, remember, you already filed the return of income, but after that they are given the advance pricing agreement. Can you tell me, with the help of this ALP, you have to modify your return within the 3 months from the month end in which APA entered. APA entered month ending within 3 months. That means we filed exactly on 14th 12. That is within the time only. Now, next points are very important. Sir, we filed the one return, that is a return of income on what date, ma? 30th 11. 30th 11 2025. But on this return, assessment is not at all completed till this date, ma. What is the date? Date of filing of modified return. In our example, this is an date of filing of modified return. So now, assessment is pending means we can direct the AO, sir, please stop this assessment, continue the assessment on the what ma? Modified return. Now we can give the extension of time limits by the 12 months. I think in our assessment procedure, we have a time limits for assessment. For the time limit, we can add how many months, ma? 12 months. Now, but in third point, assessing officer is a super fast. 30th 11 of 2025, we filed the return of income. On this return of income, assessment is completed already. He doesn't have any work. That's why he completed that assessment before filing of the modified return. Then what we can say, sir? So your efforts are wasted, sir. No problem. You can do the reassessment. Why we are saying reassessment? Because assessment is already done. That's why you have to conduct the reassessment on the modified return. Now, what is the time limit for doing this modified return related reassessment, ma? From the date of filing, year end. Can you tell me? Year end is nothing but what, ma? 14/12/2026. From that 14/12/2026 year end, within how many months? 12 months. We have to complete that what, ma? Assessment on the modified return. Assessment on the what, ma? Modified return. Remember what is the points? Very, very important, ma. If you already filed the return of income, you have to do the modified return. The assessment needs to be conducted on modified return. If assessment is pending, no problem. You can conduct the assessment on this modified return. We can give the extension of time limits. How many months? 12 months. If assessment is already done, conduct the reassessment. Now, what is the fresh time limit we can give? So, from the end of the year, in which within the 12 months, you can complete the assessment. Now, I will tell you. What about these are all the years? For these all the years, we need to file the modified. But in our example, for this year only, we have to file the modified return within that what time? From that month end in which the APA entered, within how many months, ma? 3 months. Within how many months, ma? 3 months. Now I want to take the examination, so nothing but your examination question. So that is an always in our workbook only. So please take, this is only the repeatedly they are given in that exam. So this is an exclusively our CMA problem. Question number 28. Question number 28. Last attempt I said in a marathon also. Yes, this is very important. Yes, they are given in the December 2024. Yes, please remember. Aarti Limited is an SSE having that international transaction entered into advance pricing agreement with the transactions entered with the associated enterprise with the Sweden on this date. Can you tell me? Advance pricing agreement entered. For getting the advance pricing agreement, definitely we have to provide the what, ma? Last 5 years data. That means definitely, sir, I haven't one associated enterprise. Always I am entering into the transaction with the associated enterprise. In future also, I want to continue the same. That's why please give me one advance pricing agreement ALP. So that's why they are saying cost plus method is the most appropriate method, sir. For this year, what is the ALP they are given? 540. So last 5 years data they are given. Can you tell me why they are given the 5 years data last? Maybe for rollback. But I can exclude the last year because the rollback for only how many years, ma? 4 years. So that's why I can exclude the 1 year. So they are asking directly state that assessment year APA can apply. APA can apply means nothing but what, ma? Present assessment year 25-26. Next how many years, ma? 4 years. First question is over. Second, how many years rollback can be applied, ma? 4 years. But can you tell me directly we can take 4 years or no? Under some situation, rollback is not applicable. Please list that and we need to find out. We need to find out. Can you tell me? First condition, if you want to apply the rollback, the return of income must be furnished on or before the due date. Please check, ma. In first case, the return is filed within the due date or after the due date, ma? This is an assessment year. What is the previous year, ma? 23. 24. Whether the return is filed within the due date or after the due date, ma? After the due date. So because the return needs to be filed on or before 30th 11 of what, ma? 24. But they filed after the due date. So now here also, yes, within the due date they filed. Next one, ma? Within the due date they filed. Next one, ma? I think within the due date only. Yes. Please check it out. So return is not filed within the due date. So that's why for this year also rollback is not applicable. Are you clear? Next one. Sir, ALP as per advance pricing agreement. ALP as per the what ma? Advance pricing agreement. ALP as per assessment already done. So now, can you tell me here total income increased or decreased? Ma 530 is normally we created as a sale price, now 550. Here total income is increased or decreased? Increased. Here total income is decreased. So that's why for this year rollback is not applicable. For this year also total income what ma? Increased. Are you clear? So that means rollback is an applicable only for these 2 years. So that is only they are given. That is only the question they are asking. You have to select that all the years whether return is filed within the due date or after the due date. Next, you have to check whether the total income is increased or decreased. So total income is increased, yes, you can apply the rollback. If total income decreased for that year, we can't. Yes, we can't apply the rollback if the total income decreased. Yes, ma. Now, this is only the question, but last question. What is a duty on the part of RT Limited regards the filing of return of income? What is a duty? We have to file the modified return within the 3 months from the end of the agreement entered. Are you clear up to now, ma? So this is the same question they are given in the December 2024. Yes, you can solve on your own. Same question, same name they are given. Are you understood, ma? Yes, as of now, we done with the concept of what, ma? We done with the concept of what, ma? Advance pricing agreement only. Yes, this point is very important. Listen. If advance pricing agreement enter, no need to compute the ALP. No need to give the reference to the TPO. That's why this section 92 CC is override these two sections. What are the two sections? First one, ALP computation, a reference to TPO is not applicable if you are entered into the advance pricing agreement. Always they will give you this concept as in directly in exams. So now our main one concept is also over is what? So we done with these two concepts now, associated enterprise, advanced pricing agreement. Now we can start directly with the primary adjustment and secondary adjustment. With the primary adjustment and secondary adjustment. Shall we start the primary adjustment and secondary adjustment, ma? All of you give me reply. So first of all, are you getting the clarity about the advanced pricing agreement as well as rollback provisions? So why Bhaskar classes? Why not BCCA? So I'm not forming part of BCCA team, sir. Now I'm starting on my own. So that's why I'm placing my name only. If you have any objections, you can tell me. I can remove it, sir. I don't know what is a BCCI also. So we have an own agreement. So that agreement is over. So now I want to start on work. So some reasons are there. Some reasons are there, but that is an petty reasons. That is not required in these sessions also. Now, before going to the primary adjustment and secondary adjustments, 92D is important provisions. If any person entered into international transaction, specified domestic transaction, the transaction value is exceeding 1 crore, he has to maintain the records under section 92D. So what are the records? That is specified by the CVDD rules only, not required. But remember, when this provision is mandatory, sir, if that international transaction or specified domestic transaction, if the value is exceeding 1 crore, directly we have to maintain the records. This is a mandatory provision if the transaction value exceeds 1 crore. But sir, safe side, sir, I don't know when the TPO will call records, when AO can call the records also. Now, for voluntary basis also you can you can maintain the record. So safe side, practically all the SSCs will maintain the records under 92D. What is the reason? So we don't know when we can call for records, when they can call for records also, when they are asking for the records also, we don't know. That's why we can maintain the records for safe side, even the value of the transaction not exceeding 1 crore. Remember, suppose AO or CIT appeals from that SSC. For this SSC, they will send the notice and they can call for the records. So during any course of proceeding, they can call the records. Within the period of 10 days, you have to give the response. This is a short notice. Shortest notice. Always maybe we have in 30 days or 40 days. But remember, we have a shortest notice time period. So that's why you can imagine how much extent of the clarity of the records we have to maintain also. So some genuine cases, they can extend the period from the 10 days to 30 days. Not extra period of 30 days, they can extend the 10 to 30 days. Now, there is an important point, remember, how many years we have to maintain the records? From the end of the relevant assessment year, we have to maintain the records 8 years. In PCBP, yes, in PCBP, we have in section 44AA. So on that occasion, how many years, 6 years, from the end of the relevant assessment year. As per the PCBP provisions, can you tell me from the end of the relevant assessment year, how many years, 6 years. But as per section 92D, how many years we have to maintain? 8 years. Now I am introducing the one penalty section here, very very important. Remember, if you are not maintain the records properly under section 92D, you have to pay the penalty under section 271AA. What is the penalty? 2% of the value of the international transaction as well as specified domestic transaction. So I will give you the one MCQ. Please try to answer that MCQ related answer, ma. Yes. Please give me answer for this. Metal Limited is exported the goods to the holding company Glory Limited, UK. So 20 crores transaction value. There fails to keep the records with the extent of how much amount, 5 crore. Then what is the penalty? They are not maintain the 92 records properly. Then what is the penalty we have to pay, section 271AA, 2%. But 2% on what amount? Total amount or defaulted part. Any idea? Defaulted part only, that is on 5 crore. I think how much, ma? Answer is 10 lakh. But you are a very lucky person if you applied the an entire amount wrongly also, you don't have any option here. That means no matching option here. Anyhow, you can save. But if I am setting the question paper directly, I can give the wrong option also. Remember, you have to apply the 2% on the defaulted transactions recorded value, that is on 5 crore. Clear, ma? Now, Okay, I will give you 5 to 10 minutes break also after this secondary and primary adjustments. So remember, next section in our discussion, that is a 92C. So 7th one is over, 8th one also over, that is section 92D. So maintenance of records. What is that penalty reference here? 271AA. 9th one, section 92CE. Secondary adjustment, important, listen carefully. After this primary and secondary adjustment, I will give you the break, ma. Shall we start the next section, that is a 92CE, secondary adjustment. Okay, in order to understand what do you mean by the primary adjustment, what do you mean by the secondary adjustment, I will take one example. Listen carefully. A Limited is an USA foreign company, it is a subsidiary company. B Limited is an Indian company, holding company. There is a transaction of purchase. I think actual transaction price cancelled. We are entered with the ALP. So that's why whatever the amount of the total income you are increased because of the transfer pricing provisions. Now what is that amount of the total income we increased? 5 crore. For me break required. Okay, what is that? 5 crore. Remember, this is only called as primary adjustment. This is only called as primary adjustment. So whatever that amount of the total income increased because of the ALP application. What is that amount increased? 5 crore. That is only called as primary adjustment. Because of primary adjustment, the profit or income always will be increased. No. Sir, if you are observing, we are increased the total income of our Indian entity. Total income of Indian entity, how much amount? 5 crore. But if you verify the cash book of this account, cash book of this company, we are already paid excess amount to them. Exactly 15 crores we paid, but what is that ALP ma? 10 crores only. But excess, how much amount we paid to them? 5 crore. Now, in order to remove the imbalance between the cash and actual profit, so actual profit is nothing but what ma? 5 crore. Now you have to balance. Your total income increased 5 crore. Cash also you have to increase. So that's why in the books of accounts of SSC, in the books of accounts of other party, we have to do the secondary adjustment. Means we have to repatriate the 5 crores from them. We have to repatriate the 5 crores from them. That is only called as what ma? Secondary adjustment. What is that main motive of the secondary adjustment? Yes, your total income increased, your profit is increased 5 crore. Then what about the cash balance? Cash balance also we have to increase the 5 crores. So that's why we can pass the secondary adjustment in the books of accounts of SSC. How, sir? So we can write the, yes, this fellow needs to give the 5 crores. And they also can pass the entry. So they can pass the entry as an payable and we can pass the entry as an receivable. How much amount? 5 crore. Clear? Now, please open the concept book for this discussion. Ma, I will tell you the total things. Important discussion. Listen carefully, don't ignore the even one point also in the primary adjustment and secondary adjustment. Simply I can give this concept as you can read on your own like that, but I don't want to give. Remember, this is a 30-mark chapter, that's why primary adjustment means income increase or reduction of loss due to what ma? ALP. Money charge చేయక అతని దగ్గర. Secondary adjustment means Can you tell me how much excess amount we given? 5 crore. So now that excess amount we can take it as a deemed loan. We are already given the how much amount of loan to them. So we are paid only, but we can treat that amount as an what ma? Deemed loan. Or so India always will follow that what ma? Deemed loan approach only. Excess money means nothing but difference between ALP as well as actual transaction price. In our example, that is an 15 crores minus 10 crore, that is only the 5 crore, that is only excess money. Why we are doing the secondary adjustment? In order to remove the imbalances between the cash account and actual profit. Now, our important point you have to concentrate. Secondary adjustments can be done by SSEs when the primary adjustment is done. If primary adjustment is done, we have to remove the imbalances between the cash and actual profit. That's why we are doing the secondary adjustment. If primary adjustment is done, automatically we have to do the secondary adjustment also. Now, primary adjustment can be done by the SSE sumo totally. Yes, SSE can do. Remember, first one SSE. Second one, AO also can do with the help of TPO. You are accepted that instead of going for an appeal, you are accepted directly instead of going for an appeal. That means second. Sir, instead of that, we can directly go to the APA. Third one. Sir, for computing ALP, we haven't safe harbor rules, but practically we have, but not in our syllabus. Next one, mutual agreement procedure as per DTAA. That means in this ways you can do the primary adjustment. How many ways? Totally 5 ways we have. First one, sumo totally. Second one, AO can do. Sumo means SSE can do. SSE can do. Second one, AO can do. Third one, APA. Fourth one, safe harbor rules. Fifth one, mutual agreement procedure. Now, non-repatriation of excess money. Sir, they are given the time limit, sir. How many days time limit they are given? 90 days time limit they are given. You have to repatriate that amount within how many days? 90 days. If you are not repatriated, so that should be treated as an, what deemed to be treated as advance. On that you have to calculate the interest on such advance or loan. That interest is included in our total income. We have to yes ma'am, we have to include that interest income. Definitely it is a burden only. They are given the 90 days time. You have to repatriate that 5 crores to that India within 90 days. Otherwise, that will be treated as a loan, and on that loan, we have to calculate the interest. Now, to be honest, it is a very important discussion. Don't exclude. Yes, what is a time limit for repatriation? Now, I am given the 2 time limits. First one for repatriation, second one for interest. Repatriation 90 days. Started from which date? You have to remember these time limits. 90 days is counted from which date? Sir, if AO done the primary adjustment, because of APA, because of mutual agreement procedure, other reasons means nothing but what? Safe harbor rules. Next one, yes sumoto. Remember. This is an important, you have to remember the what Yes, I forget to exclude in next version that will be removed. Ishwar, don't worry Okay. So, I forget to exclude this one. Okay. Definitely I will remove, no issue. Sir, remember 90 days from which date? You have to check properly. Now, example I will take. If you are not repatriated within 90 days, then what we need to do? Interest we have to calculate. Interest needs to be computed from which period also you have to remember. Interest computation period also different only. You have to remember these dates. Okay. So these two things only will play the major role in this concept. What is that first point? What is that time limit for repatriation? 90 days. From which date? If you are not repatriated within this 90 days time, you have to calculate the interest from which date? Now, so what is the rate of interest? If the transaction is denominated in Indian currency, SBI first day of the previous year, 1 year lending rate, for that we have to add 3.25 percentage. If the transaction is denominated in foreign currency, we have to apply 6 months London interbank related rate. 6 months means nothing but September of a previous year. For that we have to add the 3% rate. What is that rate? We have to add 3% rate. Now, this is an important. Primary adjustment is done. That amount is not exceed the 1 crore. Then secondary adjustment is not required. In our example, what is the primary adjustment amount of 5 crores? That's why we are doing the secondary adjustment also. If primary adjustment amount itself is less than 1 crore, no need to do secondary adjustment. If the primary adjustment amount, if the primary adjustment is done 16, 17 or earlier assessment year, for that also no need to do the secondary adjustment. So this is an important point you should remember. Next. Sir, up to what date we have to compute that interest? Interest you have to compute every year till excess money repatriated to India. Sir, every year we have to compute. Sir, not totally, sir. Every year you have to compute and you can include that interest income into the total income of the SSE. Every year separately you have to compute till the repatriation date. Sir, this is an additional burden only, sir. Sir, you are given the time limit of 90 days, but I am unfortunately not repatriated within 90 days. You are taken as an advance and you are going to calculate that interest from this period. Till the repatriation every year, sir, that is a huge burden and it is an added to the income of me and I require to pay the tax on this also. Is there any relaxation instead of paying the interest, sir? Yes, there is an alternative treatment also. If you are not repatriated within the time, you have to pay that interest. But instead of that, you can pay the additional income tax. Remember, additional income tax rate is fixed, sir. Yes, 20.9664, that is an 18 point plus 12% plus 4% effectively, that is an 20.9664. Till what date, sir? Till the date of payment of additional income tax, till the date of payment of additional income tax, you have to calculate the interest. I will tell you. Previous year, 26-27, in this year, I decided, last year I paid the additional income tax. What is that? Previous year, 25-26 also, I paid the interest. I calculated the interest. On that interest, I paid the tax also. Because I am treating it as a loan. But here, on August, I am paying the additional income tax. On that August, I am paying the additional income tax, sir. I don't want to calculate the interest, sir. Sorry. So that's why I am paying the additional income tax, that is on 20.9664% on that excess money. But till that date, till this date, can you tell me? So March, April, May, June, July, for this month, you have to compute the interest. On this interest, you have to pay the tax also. After that only, no need to calculate the interest. This is a very important point. Sir, if you are decided to pay the additional income tax, yes, you can pay. But existing requirement of interest calculation till the date of payment of additional income tax we have to calculate only. Next, sir, there is no credit for the additional income tax. This is an additional income tax can paid by the SSE in order to escape from the secondary adjustment only. He can escape from the secondary adjustment from the date of payment of such a tax. From the date of payment of such a tax. Are you clear, ma, up to now? Give me confirmation. Now, last attempt question I want to take directly. So, workbook questions now you can take easily. So, now I want to take the last attempt question, ma. So, I want to erase these things. So, they are given the corner areas also in that exam. That's why you have to prepare that entire chapter. TAN Limited is an Indian company. It is a part of multinational group. It is a multinational group by the Colors Incorporation. So, can you tell me what is our company name, ma? TAN. So, it is a forming part of multinational group. These are all our associated enterprises only. They are given the transactions, ma. Transaction price declared by the SSE himself. Transaction price declared by the AO with the help of TPO. Can you tell me? Means what is the primary adjustment, ma, here? Just 0.5 crore. Here, ma, transfer pricing provisions will not apply because I am declaring my income 5, but they are saying 4.5 crore. Total income is decreased here. Whatever the total income is decreased here, the transfer pricing provisions will not apply. Here, can you tell me what is the primary adjustment we have to done, ma? 2 crore. What we have to done, ma? 2 crore. Remember, date of order of AO. Date of order of AO, because here adjustments is done by the whom? AO. So that's why the time period repatriation, that means if order passed by AO, then repatriation needs to be done from 90 days. Within 90 days from the date of order of AO, but in this question date of order of AO given within 90 days you have to repatriate, but here yes, primary adjustment amount is 0.5 crore, so that's why secondary adjustment is not required, because the primary adjustment amount itself is less than how much amount, ma? 1 crore. Primary adjustment is done, but secondary adjustment is not required here. So here primary adjustment itself is not there, that's why secondary adjustment is also not required. Last one, we have to repatriate that amount from yes, ma, within 90 days from this date. Can you tell me repatriation is done within 90 days? No. Now, can you tell me we have to calculate the what, ma? Interest. Repatriation is done within the 90 days, no. Then we have to calculate the interest. Can you tell me interest should be computed from the date of order of AO. Date of order of AO. That means interest period should be start from yes, ma, 1st November 2023 to that year end. Year end is nothing but what, ma? 31st March 2024. Every year we have to compute that income. So can you tell me how many days? Please calculate how many days, ma? Till the repatriation. Repatriation is done, ma. So that's why till the repatriation we have to compute that interest. Can you calculate how many days, ma? So okay, you can calculate later also. 2 crore into. What is the rate, ma? Transaction is denominated in which currency? Rupees. That's why we have to take the 7% plus what is that, ma? 3.25, that is a 10.25. Okay, you calculated days also, super. 151 days. They are asking this only. This is the same point, ma. No need of total depth. Just Primary adjustment is not primary adjustment is 0.5 crore. That's why secondary adjustment is not required here. Primary adjustment is not required. Secondary adjustment is also not required here. Primary adjustment is 2 crore. That's why we can do the secondary adjustment. So secondary adjustment can be done when if you are not repatriated within 90 days. You are not repatriated within 90 days. That's why we have to compute the interest also from the this date to repatriated date. So this is only the question they are asking in the last attempt for 7 marks. In February, 29 days is there in the last attempt, but now 28 days only. Don't think about it now. So here, definitely, okay, you can think. On the occasion, maybe 29, but now in the next attempt, they will give you the different years. Don't think about it, okay? So now, primary adjustment and secondary adjustment concept is also over, okay? Sorry, yeah. So, majority of the concepts are over. Now, I want to take a break for yet just 5 minutes time. I want to take it as a break. After that, I can start the remaining concepts. Still, I need 1 hour. So within this 1 hour, I can conclude the yes. There is a 94B concept section. Section 94B concept, and whatever that other concepts are there, that other concepts also. And I can do the ALP methods also. I can do the ALP methods also. That's why I need extra 1 hour time. I will take 5 minutes break. I can come back after the 5 minutes. Yes, we can discuss the remaining things and we can close the entire chapter. So yes, whatever the questions I'm not covering, that means methods time, I will cover the more problems. So the remaining you have to do on your own. You can take the provisions help. If you know the provisions, then only you can solve this type of questions. Yeah. So break time for 5 minutes. Okay, break up to 10:25. If you have any other works, yes, you can left the session and you can continue your preparation and you can take the classes, all the things. So you can watch the class on tomorrow also. Recorded watch, you can watch. Recorded sessions, you can watch. Okay, take a break. Yes, I will give you the list of questions also within 1 or 2 days, ma. Don't think about it. Yes, tomorrow we can start the MCQ series also. Okay, so we can start our discussion, ma. Hello, we can start, ma. Yes, shall we start? Next section 92E audit report. If any person entered into the international transaction or specified domestic transaction, return of income due date before 1 month, we have to take the CA report from Form 3 CEB. Yes, can you tell me what is that, ma? Return of income due date exactly 1 month before we have to we have to take the report from the CA in Form 3 CEB. So tax audit is also same. Exactly tax audit due date before 1 month, we have to take the tax audit report and we have to file the tax audit report in form number 3CA, 3CB, 3CD. So what is that important point? If you are fails to file this 92E audit report, yes, you have to pay the penalty under section 271BA, fixed amount of how much, ma? 1 lakh. Fixed amount of how much, ma? 1 lakh. Are you clear? These are the penalties are very important. 271 AA. 2% of the value of international transaction if you have failed to maintain the 92D records. If you have failed to get the 92E audit report, then you are required to pay the penalty under section 271BA as in 1 lakh. So next very important concept, that is a 94B we are going to start. That is only thin capitalization. Yes. So till now, if you are not listened properly also, yes, ignore and you have to start this concept. Every attempt we have a 7-mark question from the 94B. Every attempt we are getting the question from the 94B, limitation on interest deduction, or we can call it as a thin capitalization. Remember, associated enterprise, maybe they are taking the loan as a borrower. They are taking the loan from the another associated enterprise, but here borrower must be Indian company or permanent establishment of a foreign company. I think you know permanent establishment means it is a place, fixed place of business. Whole business or part of the business is carried out. Remember, again I am saying, ma, here the borrower is an Indian company or permanent establishment of foreign company. We are taking the loan from the one non-resident associated enterprise. So we are taking the loan. That means we are going to repay the what, ma? Interest. We are going to repay the what, ma? Interest. So if that interest payment is more than 1 crore, we have to calculate excess interest. That excess interest should be disallowed under PCBP. Why PCBP? Because you have taken the loan for that your business or profession. That's why this interest can be allowed as deduction, but excess interest should be disallowed after that. Example, yes ma, 70 crores interest ma, 30 crores is an excess interest. We have to allow how much only here? 40 crore in the PCBP as an deduction. Excess interest should be disallowed under which head of income? PCBP. Sir, how to calculate this excess interest? Yes, maybe you can calculate directly 30% etc. But remember, so if you follow this only, then you will get in some more yes clarification. Excess interest means lower of these two things. Lower of the what, ma? Two things. First one, total interest. Sir, here the total interest means whether we are paid to AE or paid to non-AE also include, minus 30% of earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization. That can be denoted as A. Total interest minus 30% of EBITDA. Second one, B, actual interest paid to AE. Actual interest paid to what, ma? AE. So whichever is lower, that is an excess interest, that should be disallowed. Now, I will give you some examples, ma. I will give you some examples. Case 1. What is an EBITDA? 100 crores. Interest paid to AE? 35. Interest paid to non-AE? Not there. What is a disallowed interest under section 94B? Yes, ma. Excess interest we have to disallow. What is that excess interest, ma? Lower of total interest, whether you are paid to AE or non-AE, 35. 30% of EBITDA. How much, ma? 30% of EBITDA means nothing but 30. Or interest paid to AE. How much? 35. Whichever is lower, ma? 5. That means this excess interest 5 should be disallowed. Next, second question. Sir, you are not at all, you are paying interest to AE. So that's why 94B is not applicable. Can you tell me 94B is unapplicable? Being an Indian borrower or permanent establishment of foreign company, if you are taking the loan and if you are paying that interest to AE more than 1 crore, yes, more than 1 crore, then only applicable. But in the second case, you are not at all paying any interest to AE. Now, third case. Now third case, can you tell me? Interest paid to AE and non-AE, both are there. Yes, remember, total interest means what, ma? 35. Total interest 35 minus 30% of EBITDA, you will get, yes, I think 5. You will get what, ma? 5. Next, interest paid to AE, here 15, ma, not 35. You can change it. Yes, whichever is lower, ma. 5. So now, what is the key factor here? Excess interest. How to calculate this excess interest, only the key factor here. Now, amendment is also there. I will open this concept book, ma. When this provision is applicable, yes, if these are the two persons as borrowers, yes, they are taking that amount from the non-resident associated enterprise. Interest payment is more than 1 crore. This expenditure, if deductible under PCBP, excess interest cannot be deducted. How to calculate excess interest? It is a lower of A or B. Exceptions. This provision is not applicable in the following cases, ma. Remember, if Indian company, permanent establishment of a foreign company, that means if the borrowers are, yes, engaged in the business of banking company or engaged in the NBFC business, so for them this provision is not applicable, because we have to take the regular loans and the borrowings from others. That's why this 94B disallowance is not applicable. Next, if the debt issued by the lender, that means the first condition is borrower, second condition is for the lender. If the lender is a permanent establishment of foreign bank in India, can you tell me? Non-resident only issuing the loan, ma. Non-resident only issuing the loan. But here the non-resident is in India, permanent establishment of what, ma? Foreign bank. So now also this 94B disallowance is not applicable. Remember, very important. First one, borrower engaged in the banking business. Now lender is a bank and they have a permanent establishment in India. Third one, these finance companies are located in IFSC, International Financial Service Center. Nothing but what, ma? It is an upgraded version of SEZ. So SEZ always wants to attract that investment from Indian investor, but this IFSC location, we want to attract that investment from the foreign. So from non-resident, we want to attract that investment in this location. We are given the tax incentives in that locations. That's why that is an IFSC. In that location, if that persons are located, yes, this is only that amendment. This provision is not applicable. Remember, so how much excess interest disallowed here, ma? 30 crore. No problem. 30 crore is disallowed. This can be allowed in the next 8 years. That means we can carry forward this disallowed amount to the next 8 years. That is only unused portion. What is unused portion here? 30 crore. We can carry forward to that how many years, ma? 8 years. Now, sir, in our workbook you can solve the questions, ma. But in the recently released ICMA workbook, we have 2 questions. I will solve one question. The remaining question, same question you can solve on 94B. So, important. Definitely I am expecting this question. You don't know. So definitely I am a lazy fellow only. But I am trying to extend the session for 1 hour. What is that use? I can realize that use in that exam directly. Illustration 794B question and illustration ESMA 6 also 94B only. 6 and 7 is the same question but different presentations only. Now I am taking the 7th question. Shall I take the 7th question, ma? In last EO batch, one student asked this doubt exactly. Sir, you are disallowing this amount in the current year. How you can utilize in the next year? One student asked the doubt, but I don't have any that similar model in my workbook. Yes, in my workbook, but ICMA released the same thing. ICMA released the same thing. Now, realize. Yes, please active. Yes, we have an 40 more minutes. Yes, please listen carefully. Profit and loss account of the financial year, 2 years they are given, ma. Yes. Can you write the assessment years also, 24-25 and 25-26? Now, gross profit given, employee benefits given, and employee benefit expenditure means simply salary related things. Then remaining amounts they are given. Now, 15th May 2023, in which year, ma? 23-24 previous year, Sunny Limited, Indian company, that means this fellow only, borrowed 150 crores from the Z Incorporation, that is incorporated in country A. But these two are associated enterprises or not? Yes, associated enterprise, right? This loan is repayable 5 years. Loan guaranteed by Sky Limited, incorporated in country B. Sky Limited holds the 40% in Sunny Limited. Can you tell me what is the relationship here? You have to identify properly. What is that relationship we have to identify properly? Who is given the guarantee? Sir, who is a borrower, ma? Sunny Limited. Who is given the loan, ma? Z Incorporation. Loan we are taken. What is a loan we are taken? 150 crores. But we both the parties are not associated enterprise. But here one normal one company is there, Sky Incorporation. Sky Incorporation is given the guarantee to them. Sky and Sunny now associated enterprise. So that's why this is also indirectly the loan given by the associated enterprise only. So in exam, this is a point you have to remember. Yes, if loan directly given by associated enterprise, okay. And if that loan given by the, yes, if that loan given by the, yes, other party, but that is guaranteed by the associated enterprise. So now we can apply the 94B. They are asking, please compute the PCBP of Sunny Limited. Guarantee percentage not given, 100% guarantee given. So we are percentage based associated enterprise. This loan, exactly I will tell you, for Z Incorporation I am given the loan amount. The loan amount only given by the Z Incorporation to Sunny. Because of this 40% only, the deemed associated enterprise relationship is there between the Sunny Limited and Sky Limited. But Sky Incorporation given the amount, that amount only given as a loan to that what Sunny. That's why this is also we can treat as a deemed international transaction. So directly we can apply the 94B. Here one important point is there. Assume the gross profit and depreciation figures as per Income Tax Act 1961 only. Now what will be there? Please compute the EBITDA for the previous year 23-24. EBITDA for the 23-24. Can you tell me how to calculate that earnings before interest and tax and depreciation? From these earnings, before interest, before depreciation, before tax, before transferring to the reserves, means this is only EBITDA. Sir, employees we have to give that all the things, sir. Earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization, this is only EBITDA. Can you calculate that EBITDA? Yes, please calculate. I think you will get 1920 lakh. Amount mentioned in lakhs. 1920 lakh. Now, so within our format we can calculate excess interest. Excess interest means lower of total interest paid. Here the total interest paid is 750. 750 lakh minus 30% of EBITDA 1920. It is an A, and total interest is 750 lakh. Whichever is lower, you can compute. Yes, how much you will get, ma? 576. This 576 is called as what, ma? Excess interest that should be disallowed. How much interest we paid, ma? 750. Out of that 750, yes, we have to disallow. Sorry. Please calculate this amount, ma. I think wrong amount I got. Calculate 1920 into 30%. You will get 576. 750 minus 576 is 174. Yes, 174 lakh we have to what, ma? Disallow. 174 lakh if we disallow, what is that allowed portion, ma? 576. So remember, 576 is nothing but now allowed. So this disallowed portion can carry forward for how many assessment years? 8 assessment years. Interest disallowed and carry forward to the next years. How many, ma? How many lakh? 174. Step 2. Next year we have to compute. EBI TDA. Yes, here you can calculate EBI TDA. Yes, 2200 minus employee expenses. You will get the earnings before interest and tax, depreciation and amortization. You will get 400. Totally 1690. So here also you can calculate the excess interest within our format. Definitely here interest is paid to AE. That's why you don't have any differentiation if you are following shortcut also. Don't follow the shortcut. Directly you can calculate. Excess interest means total interest paid. That is an 350 minus 30% of 1690 lakh or 350. Please calculate, ma. 30% of 1690 lakh. 507. But here I will tell you what will happen also. Sorry. Here one thing is there. Not only 350 we can take here. 350 plus last year also we have a chance. Last year thing also, this is a carry forward from last year. Unused portion can be carried forward for how many years, ma? 8 years. So now 350 plus 174, 524 minus 30% of 1690, 507, and this is 350. So can you tell me 524 minus 507, can you tell me 17 lakh? This 17 lakh excess interest needs to be disallowed and carry forward to next years. But what is that amount is allowed here, ma? 507 lakh is allowed. So this is only the point we have to observe. The last year thing we have to add and we can compute the how much amount we can take. Sir, here we have a chance of 507. That's why 350 plus last year 174. Out of that 507 is allowed and 17 lakh is disallowed. But they are asking which question, ma? Compute PCBP. How to calculate PCBP? You know, gross profit from. While calculating PCBP, employee expenses you can take it as deduction. Out of these things, yes, ma, employee expenses you can take as deduction. But out of 350, how much amount you can take as a deduction, ma? Interest, not 350. Yes, 507 we can take. 507 you can take it as deduction. Next, yes. Income tax is disallowed, profit transferred to it also disallowed, interest, depreciation they are clearly given. Depreciation is as per Income Tax Act 1961 only, now 640. These are all allowable expenditure if you are taken. Then PCBP is 543 and the 17 lakh can be carried forward to the what, ma? For other years. Are you clear this question? Very important question they are given in that given in the workbook. Anytime you will get this question in that exam. So if you are doing this question at least once, there is no surprise in that exam. That's why you can do these calculations very well. But step 3 computation only will give you the full marks. PCBP computation, while you are calculating the PCBP from net profit or gross profit, you can take salaries as a deduction, interest paid, but now you are calculated how much amount is allowed as deduction, 507. Depreciation you can take. Yes, income tax you can't take it as deduction. Profit transfer to reserve also you can't take it as what deduction. Are you clear up to now? The same question you have. Yes, you can try in your free time as a practice purpose. For practice purpose, you can try. Clear? All of you, please give me confirmation about understanding about this question. (94B) over. Now I want to discuss the (94A). Notified jurisdictional area. Example I will tell you. Sir, India and Pakistan doesn't have any effective information exchange mechanism. So that's why if any person wants to enter the transaction with any person located in this Pakistan, always India will discourage the SSEs from entering into the transaction with the persons located in the countries or territories which we don't have any effective information exchange mechanism. Still, if you are entered into the transaction with that persons also, if you are still entered into the transaction with a person, yes, then what we can do, we can treat these two persons as an associated enterprise, and that can be treated as international transaction. All transfer pricing provisions will apply, but we can't give this type of relaxation of 3% deviation thing. I think in the initial discussion, we started the discussion of 3% or 1% of actual transaction price. We can give it as an hello, and we have to maintain the records also. But while you are making any payment to the person located in the notified jurisdictional area, you have to deduct the TDS as per the section rate or 30%, whichever is higher. Whichever is higher. Remember this point. This point is repeatedly they are testing them. Sir, there is no effective exchange information mechanism, means definitely there is a chance of doing the tax avoidance. That's why automatically we can treat both the person as an associated enterprise, and we can apply all transfer pricing provision except this deviation point. Remember, except this deviation point. Remember now, sir, whatever the provision international transaction is there. For this international transaction, we can apply the transfer pricing provisions. We can apply the transfer pricing provision. The same provisions, whatever the till now we discuss, the same things will be applied for the specified domestic transaction also. Very, very important MCQ. Sir, by using this transaction or by using this section, so we can do the tax avoidance. That's why all transactions amount accumulated together, if the transaction entered by the SSE during the previous year, if exceeds the 20 crore, then the transaction can be called as an specified domestic transaction. This is a very, very, very important MCQ. What is that value during that previous year aggregate? If that exceeds the how much amount? 20 crore, then only we can call it as an specified domestic transaction. Then automatically whatever the transfer pricing provisions till now we are discussing, like ALP computation, ALP average or range concept, yes, all the provisions will be applied to the specified domestic transactions also. What is the section number? 92BA. 92B is an international transaction. Can you tell me what is a 92BA? Specified domestic. What is that? Specified domestic transaction. Next, After 92 CA, I think we discussed the section 94B, thin capitalization. What is that? Thin capitalization. Next, we discuss section 94A also. What is that? Notified jurisdictional area. Notified jurisdictional area. Now, only one concept is pending in our discussion. That is only what are methods for computing ALP. Ah, 92E also we discuss. Sorry, I can write it down. 92E. What is that? Ma audit report. Now, only one concept is pending in the transfer pricing chapter. So, I think many of you are having the feeling like, sir, we are expecting to close this chapter within 2 hours, sir. But it is an extended like, so till now, I think, so 3 hours is, okay, 3 hours. Okay. One more half an hour pending. Don't think about it. Definitely you can get the value addition from these discussions, but you have to do the practice. Without practice directly you can't solve in exams. Now, this only the thing now I want to discuss, that is the methods for computing ALP. How many methods are there, ma? How many methods are there? Totally we have how many methods, ma? 6, but you can ignore last one. Totally we have an first method, second method, third one, fourth one, fifth. Every method I will tell you. Yes, every method I will tell you along with the one problem. So last one you can ignore. My any other method means we can't say that any other method. So you can ignore. Now I will tell you. First I want to take the cup method. Okay. First I want to take the cup method. So cup method related, I will take the one question from your workbook. Remaining you can solve. I will pick one important question from workbook also. But first I will do this question. Illustration 5. Illustration 5. Janan Indian company sold goods to the M corporation located in notified jurisdictional area. Can you tell me on what basis, ma? FOB basis. Now I think you know these two can be treated as what, ma? Associated enterprises, and the transaction said to be international transaction. We need to apply all the provisions except what, ma? Deviation point. I think you know notified jurisdictional area. No. So I can construct one diagram. Yes, that is an EX limited. Now what is that company, ma? EM corporation. So what is the transaction, ma? Sale or purchase? Sale. Sale of goods with how much amount, ma? 9.8 crore. 9.8 crore. On what basis? Free on board. I think you need to know about free on board means we are collecting the only what, ma? Cost only. Freight and insurance needs to be borne by the buyer. Yes, needs to be borne by the whom? Buyer. Free on board means I will give you the goods at my premises and you have to incur the what, ma? Freight and insurance amount. Now, same identical goods sold on CIF basis to unrelated party Germany for 10.7 crores. So this is an unrelated party, ma. You are selling the same goods. Same goods. Yes, for how much amount? 10.7 crore on what basis? CIF basis. That means seller collected the amount of 10.7 crore cost to insurance freight also. Now, cost to insurance freight altogether I collected the 10.7 crores. So CIF said included ocean freight and insurance and freight is 18 lakh. So nothing but here clearly given insurance amount and the freight amount altogether is nothing but what ma 18 lakh. Yes. And the company also provided after sales support to the customers excluding that M incorporation, that is nothing but after sales support like warranty etc. Yes, they are given how much amount worth ma 12 lakh given. But here that warranty is not there here. Warranty is not there here. Now, this is a designed trap ma. As per cost plus method, ALP for identical goods is 11.2 crore. What we can do? Here, most appropriate method is nothing but when there is an comparable uncontrollable price. Comparable what ma? Uncontrollable price. Can you tell me which method is a most appropriate method? Which method is a most appropriate method is yes, cost plus method is not most appropriated. COP method is a most appropriate method. So that's why we can compute that ALP by using the most appropriate method, that is an COP method. So remember, wake up guys, wake up. If they are asking the ALP computation, if that is a COP method, we have to start the problem with the price charged in comparable uncontrollable transaction as a base, that is a 10.7 crore. Yes, I don't know why you are asking 20 crore, why we need to apply the 20 crore. 20 crore amount is for this 92 BA akka. For this provision only, we have to check the 20 crore. 94A, there is no provision regarding the limit of 20 crores. Okay. Now, we have to start with the price charged in comparable uncontrollable transaction. Now, I want to locate at this. But in this insurance and freight is there. But I want to locate without insurance and freight. Can you tell me from this 10.7 crore? From the 10.7 crore, I have to exclude the what ma 18 lakh. This is only functional adjustment we can call. So can you tell me this 10.7 crore we can take as a comparable uncontrollable price, but in this insurance and freight is there, but here there is no insurance and freight, that's why exclude. Here warranty including this price we charged, but here we want to get the excluding warranty. So that's why warranty price also you have to exclude. In exam, please remember they are given the amount in crores, but these all the things they are given the lakhs. So many students are doing this mistake. No, you have to convert into the crores, then you can remove. Are you clear? So now you can compute that ALP. What is that ALP we got here ma? 10.4. What is that ALP we got here? 10.4. Previously, what is that amount you are created as a sales ma? 9.8 crore you are created as a sale. But that is not correct. We have to record with the how much amount as an ALP ma? 10.4. Can you tell me what is the total income? Now we can increase. Please calculate what is the total income. Now we can increase. 0.6. Now you have to write the point. No permissible deviation is allowed because this is a nothing but what ma 94A notified jurisdictional area related thing. Normally, as per the ALP computation related, they are given the variation percentage. But yes, in 94A case, yes, we are not taking the what ma 3% or 1% of tolerance. Yes, what is the point I want to take? In CUP method, the many students having the starting issue. If you want to solve the CUP method, problem, always you have to take the base as an price charged in comparable uncontrollable transaction. For that we have to do the functional adjustment. Don't by heart the functional adjustment. Now we are including that insurance and freight. Now I want to locate without insurance and freight. How ma? Please remove this 18 lakh. Here with the warranty, I want to get without warranty. Here there is no warranty. Except this company, they are given the warranty for all. So that's why here warranty including this amount, but I want to know about that without warranty. That's why please exclude. So this is only the question related to CUP method. But in your workbook, you must and should do the CUP method. One question, I am expecting that question only in the next attempt. I will highlight this question at any cost tomorrow morning. Today you can take rest and tomorrow you can do this problem at any cost. Yes. Question number 11. Must and should you have to do this question without any fail. All of you. What is that? Here they are given the two comparable uncontrollable prices. Here you will get the two ALPs. How to get the final ALP less than 6 ALPs only we have. That's why we have to do average. So here also the same. I think we are entered into the transaction with the company located in notified jurisdictional area. So that's why 3% of the percentage, 3% of the actual transaction price tolerance point is not applicable here. So what is that NEQ thing in this question? Only one NEQ thing is nothing but, yes, we have to compute the two arm's length prices. For this two arm's length prices, we have to do average and finally we can do. Sir, why? How I am taking this question? This is an December 2022 exam postponed to January 23. On that occasion, they are given this question for 7 marks. Definitely it is your next attempt question. Definitely it is your next attempt question. Clear? So that's end with the CUP method. So can you tell me? I am asking a question to all of you. If you are starting the CUP method question, what is the base we have to take for doing the functional adjustments? Price charged in comparable uncontrollable transaction only you have to take it as a base. All of you, I want to get this answer. What is the base we have to take? Comparable uncontrollable transaction price only you have to take. For that we can do the adjustments. Please at least type once. That is a pointer. Next method we can go. Okay. Next method we can go with the CUP method is over. Now you can try all the problems you will get, but one thing you have to remember. If I want to solve the CUP method, if comparable uncontrollable price is available, I have to do the problem by using CUP method only. What is the base I have to take? Price charged in comparable uncontrollable transaction. Now, second method, I have to take the cost plus method. I have to take what method? Cost plus method. So reason for solving the workbook questions, because a regular batch, fast track, EO batch students, most of the students are already listened these questions thoroughly. So that's why I want to take the new questions. There is no reason. There is no reason because, yes cost plus method question. Illustration 1. Now, can I take all of you? So, okay, just for 2 minutes ago. Okay, what else? Okay, I will complete the remaining methods also within 20 to 30 minutes. So, I think the many of you are struggling to listen that entire session without any fail. Definitely, this hard work can reflect in next month examinations as well as after 2 months results also. So don't think about the result and outcome. Continue your efforts till the last day of the preparation, last day of that examination. Automatically you will get the result in a positive way. Don't think about the outcome now itself. So many students having that one weak subject. For me also one weak subject is there, casting like. So don't think about the weak subject, and because of that weak subject you can't ignore that entire group. Maybe you will get 40, the remaining subject you can get till last breath. Yes, you can. After qualification, what you will do, you have to earn for your family, for yourself also. Yes, you need to do hard work only. So after my qualification, I'm sitting ideal in a sofa set. No, I'm doing the work for my family or for myself. So that means after qualification, you will not get anything. Yes, you will just one job you will get. Within the job, you are a CMA. That means they will not give you the salary with the ideal. Okay. Definitely you have to do the hard work. For qualification, till the last day of that exam, you have to do hard work. After the qualification, other hard works you have to do. So that is only the difficult thing. After the qualification, you can realize. Now, ma. Yes, CM. Okay, no problem. You will get at least 40 marks, and the remaining subject you can target for an exemptions also. No problem, ma. If you have a weak subject, yes, you can follow the some ABC category chapters and you have to perfect in the few chapters. Now, cost plus method we can take. This is an exact model we have in workbook also, in study material also, but they are changing the names. Now we can concentrate. Galaxy USA holds 40% equity in Comet Limited India. So that's why we can take these two as an associated enterprise. One associated enterprise is non-resident. The transaction said to be what, ma? The transaction said to be what, ma? International transaction only. Now, Comet Limited engaged in providing the product design services to the Galaxy Limited. That means our Indian entity is providing the some services to the that entity. Now, I will take the diagram. So, C Limited is providing the services to the Galaxy USA Limited. So can you tell me, we are providing service. That means remember, service provider, we are receiving income. That point you have to remember. So they are service recipient. Now, sir, how many man hours we spent, ma? Rendered 2500 man hours. We charging 1200 per hour. That means what is the bill we are given to them? So now you can calculate 2500 man hours into how much amount, ma? 1200. Can you tell me what is the bill amount? Please calculate and tell me. 2500 into 1200, you will get 30 lakh bill you are given. This is an ATP, not actual, not a ALP. It is an ATP. Just you are created this amount as a bill. Next, total cost you incurred for this 22 lakh. Sir, cost itself 22 lakh, but you are given the bill as an 30 lakhs. Now, what happened? Similar services are provided to the Star Limited unrelated profit, where we charge the gross profit margin as on what, ma? 55%. Okay. Can you tell me? What is the gross profit margin we charged? At the rate of 55% with the unrelated party, that is a Star. No. Additional information they are given. What is it? They are provided one support. That support valued at 10% of gross profit. That means 10% of 55. How much, ma? 5.5. Sir, remember, Star Limited is not provided any support. That's why we charge it 55. But Galaxy provided that what ma support. So Galaxy provided that what ma support. That's why I want to charge less or more profit ma, less profit only, remember. Because they are not given any support, that's why we are charging 55. Here they are given the support, that's why we want to charge the less amount of an profit here. Next, Galaxy given a credit period 60 days. The cost of this credit is 2% of billing rate. Billing rate is 55% only. 2% of what ma? 55. Yes, in CA materials there is a different presentation. Billing rate means gross profit rate only. 2% of 55 ma? 1.1%. 1.1%. Remember, sir, support reason I have to reduce the reduce the what ma percentage. Credit period. Sir, because of credit period, what happened? I will tell you. Because of the credit period, what happened? Sir, here instant they are making the payment, sir. That's why I charged 55%. But here they are taking the credit period. That's why I am charging the what ma? More profit. I will charge the what ma? More profit. Because support is given, that's why I will reduce this profit here. And they are asking the 60 days credit period. Here there is no credit period. Instantly they are making the payment. That's why 55. Here they are asking the 60 days credit period. That's why I will add these things. Now I will tell you. When we can apply the cost plus method, we are manufactured one good or we are produced one service, we are provided one service to our associated enterprise, then we have to apply the cost plus method. Remember, these lines are important. These lines are very important. What is that point, ma? Sir, cup method when it is useful? When there is a comparable, uncontrollable price is there. Comparable, uncontrollable price is there. Then we have to apply cup method. So then what is a cost plus method? When we can apply the cost plus method, remember, one AE produced goods, yes, or provided services to, yes ma, produced goods, that goods are sold, provides services to another AE. Now, can you tell me, here ALP needs to be computed only by cost plus method. You know what is the cost of production, what is the cost of providing services. For that we can add some profit. We can add some profit. That is only called as what ma? Cost plus method. That is only called as what ma? Cost plus method. Remember in which cases which method is the most appropriate, we have to decide. If you remember the simple theory, you can do the magics in your exam or presentations also. Cup method is suitable when price, comparable, uncontrollable price is available. Cost plus method is unapplicable when AE is produced goods and selling to the what ma? Another associated enterprise. And when AE is provided the services to another associated enterprise, then cost plus method. Now, in cost plus method, adjustments always needs to the gross profit rate. Yes, always adjustment we have to do the gross profit rate only. Can you tell me cost, you know ma? Gross profit, what is the thing we have to add? We need to know. They are already given the gross profit in other case. Now adjust these things and you can know about the gross profit. Then you will get ALP. That is only exact sale price you will get. That is only what ma? ALP. Shall we do? Yes. Can you tell me? 55% less this and add this. Gross profit markup is 50.60. They are not saying anything gross profit. So that's why we can assume on what ma? Sale. Assume on sale, not on cost. If they are not saying anything, that is on sale. If they are saying cost, okay, Directly you can add this thing gross profit to that what ma cost. But here we haven't gross profit on what ma sale. Now what we need to do ma? I will tell you. 100% is sale. Profit is nothing but how much ma? 50.60. Then cost how much you can calculate now easily. Yes ma? 100 minus 50.60. Then it is in 49.4. Now you can easily write the formula. You can now easily write the formula. Yes, cost 22 lakh. We know already cost is how much ma? 22 lakh. Now how can I add the gross profit? So many students are applying directly this gross profit percentage to the 22 lakh. That is not correct ma. So what is that? I will tell you. 22 lakh is nothing but what ma? Cost. Plus I have to add profit. How to calculate profit? 22 lakh into 22 lakh into, yes ma, divided by 100, sorry, divided by what ma? 50, because I want to calculate profit. This is an cost. Yes, into, can you tell me this 22 lakh is representing what ma? Cost. This 22 lakh is representing what ma? Cost. So then how can I calculate? Yes ma, how can I calculate? Cross multiplication you can do. Yes, you can do. Yes, this is a 49 point what ma? 4. 50.60 is a profit and it denotes the what ma? 49.4. You can compute. Yes, you will get the total. This is a profit we are adding and we can get this sale. 22 lakh into, yes, 50.60 divided by 49.4 and plus you will get 22 lakh. Yes, you will get this amount. Pakka you will get. You can calculate. I already calculated. This is only the twist. If they are given on cost na, directly you can apply on this 22 lakh. You will get the profit and you can get the what ma? Sale value. This is only the ALP. Sir, here how can I calculate it? Sir, 22 lakh is representing this amount, sir. Then what is a profit? That only I calculate. 22 lakh is representing cost. Then what is a profit? That is only I calculated. Profit plus cost. This is an ALP. But can you tell me? We have to charge from our associated enterprise 44 lakh some change. Yes ma, 44 lakh change we have to charge, but we charged only 30 lakh. So that's why what is the total income we have to increase ma? 14 lakh 53,441. Remember, this is an study material question, Salem Limited and Brain Incorporation question. So they are changed the names and the numbers. Definitely it is an important. So when we can apply the cost plus method ma, please let me know. Cost plus method is an applied when goods are produced or services are provided to that what ma 1A, produced goods and sold to that what ma A. So definitely the profit margin always they will charge less only. Comparing with the unrelated party gross profit, we have to adjust that all the things to that what ma gross profit rate and we have to calculate the what ma correct gross profit. Please add it to the cost. You will get the sale value. That is only that ALP. So remember, I am asking a question. All of you please type your answer. If they are given the ALP computation as per the cost plus method, then we have to do the adjustment for the gross profit rate. Then we have to do that adjustment for the gross profit rate charged in unrelated party case. That is in 55%. Are you clear with the gross, cost plus method ma? Please give me confirmation about the understanding about the cost plus method. Yes, this question is a tricky. They are given on sale. Sale means nothing but yes. So you have to frame this equation. Can you tell me? Cost is this one. Profit you have to identify. How to calculate profit ma? Cost representing this 22 lakh representing this amount means 22 lakh representing this amount means please calculate what is the profit we can charge. Then you will get the sale price ma. Now, resale price I will tell you. Next method is what ma? Resale price. Resale price means how it will be affected I will tell you. Yes ma. Cool Air Private Limited India is an associated enterprise of Chill Corporation USA. Directly they are given associated enterprise. That's why transfer pricing provisions will apply. During the previous year, Cool Air imported 4,000 AC compressors from the Chill Crop at an 8,200 per unit and they are sold them to Chill Zone Incorporation. So now I will construct the one pictorial representation for better understanding of this question ma. Can you tell me what is that Indian entity ma? Cool Air Private Limited. What is that Indian USA company ma? Chill Crop USA company. We are imported the how many compressors ma? I think 4,000 AC compressors each one at the rate of what ma? 8,200 each. Now we are reselling these things to the one unrelated party who is the Chill Zone. Cool Air, okay. Not Cool Air, sorry. Chill Crop only. Now we are reselling these goods to the Chill Zone Limited, unrelated party. Chill Zone Limited. Can you tell me at what price we are reselling ma? 12,000. Now, what will happen? Cool Air also purchases similar compressors from unrelated party Forced Tech Limited and reselling the same things to the ESMA 12,000 with a gross profit margin of what ma? 25. So now we purchase the same things from the one unrelated party. We are sold that also to that unrelated party. But we are purchasing from the unrelated party. I think unrelated party is in Japan. So can you tell me what is that amount of resale price we have ma? 12,000. What is the profit margin we charged ma? 25%. Remember, next. Chill Crop provided special volume discount is 1800 per unit. Chill Crop provided quantity discount how much ma? 1800. Quantity discount 1800. Now, next one. Whereas they are provided Forced Tech only how much ma? 700 only. They are provided only 700. Now, next one. Additionally, Chill Crop delivered the port without insurance due to ESMA chill crop delivered at a port without insurance due to cool air had to pay yes 1400 as an shipping charges. So nothing but here, what is the shipping charges? Yes, shipping charges is 1400. Here shipping charges they are provided yes 500. Now they are asking compute the ALP. Sir, what is the most appropriate method? Resale price. We are purchasing from our associated enterprise and we are reselling to the unrelated party. Yes, we are reselling to that what ma? Unrelated party only. Then here whatever the purchase price is there, can you tell me for our Cool Limited it is in purchase. This purchase price is 8,200. It is an actual transaction price. Now I have to compute the arm's length price. Now I have to compute the what ma? Arm's length price. Shall we start the computation of ALP ma? Now here what is that method we are following ma? Resale price method. So in resale price method, what is the base we are going to take? Yes, resale price to the third party. Can you tell me? Resale price to the third party. This one we have to take. Unfortunately, in this case, both are same, but we have to take the resale price to the third party. So we are purchased and resold. That is a resale price we have to take. What is the resale price? 12,000. Sir. Here, whatever the profit you are added, that is an unimportant, but gross profit margin charged in this transaction, now I have to reduce. Now, gross profit. Please calculate the gross profit, 12,000 into 25%, please. So, 3,000. Then, so I located, if I am removing the, yes, 25% profit, yes, genuinely I have to charge based on a comparable transaction 25. Please remove the 25%. Definitely I am locating it now. Yes. Please tell me what is that, 9,000. Okay, they are not reduced. So they are not reduced separately, but we can. No. Sir, I am locating at what ma? Sir, cost for me 9,000 they are saying. But I will not accept it as an ALP. Why? There is a functional differences between these two. I will tell you. I will tell you. Sir, many students are asking these doubts. Listen carefully. Because I am continuing the session only for this problem only. Remember carefully. Remember, purchase related expenses we have to reduce. Quantity discount, remember, quantity discount, because of the quantity discount, from our side it is a cost. Reduced or increased, ma? Here what is that amount reduced? 700 only. But now we have to reduce the incremental, how much amount we can reduce, ma? So here, what is the purchase related expenses related? Remember, here purchase side, because of the quantity discount given, our purchase price is increased or decreased? Decreased. Remember, quantity discount they are given just 700. Now I have to take that 1800. Can you tell me the difference how much amount? I think 1100. No, 1100 you can take it as a less. Again I am repeating, listen carefully. Purchase price can be reduced because of quantity discount. Here only reduced 700. No, I can reduce that incremental amount also. From side purchase price reduced only 700, but I have to reduce how much, ma? 1800. Because of the quantity discount, the purchase cost will be reduced for you. Now, next point. Next point. Shipping charges, please check. Shipping charges Previously, how much amount is there, ma? 500. Now, it is on how much, ma? 1400. Remember. Yes, remember. Previously, what is that amount they are paying from their side, ma? 500 only they paid. But now, we have to pay that extra amount, how much, ma? 900. So remember, while you are thinking, yes, quantity discount, you have to think from the what, ma? Because of the quantity discount, what is that happen to the purchase price? What is the thing happen to the purchase price? Here also, yes, previously 8,200, yes, 8,200 after reducing the how much, ma? 1400 only. After reducing how much? 1400. But you have to reduce only how much? 500 only. Because you have to, you reduce the 1400, but you have to reduce the 500 only. You have to think the differently. That's why, yes, you have to reduce is also. Arm's length price is nothing but 7,000. But what is that amount you created as a cost, ma? 8,200. That is not correct. We have to reduce only how much, ma? 7,000 only. We have to take it as a 7,000. What is the total income? We have to increase 1,200. Per unit 1,200, 4,000 units are there, 48 lakh. Remember, these two adjustments are very important. While you are thinking that while you are thinking the quantity discount. So here, purchase related expenses, you can take it as a less. So quantity discount related purchase price will reduce. Here 700 only reduce, you can decrease. So shipping charges, you have to think from another side. Yes, shipping charges here, how much amount are already reduced, ma? 1400. But here by comparing these things, sorry, you reduced only in this transaction, you reduced only 500, but you haven't right to reduce how much purchase related expenses, ma? Extra, that is a 900. This is the same problem we have in our study material also, resale price. Now I have to add the resale price. When we can use the resale price, ma? When we can use the resale price? Resale price method is used when goods purchased by one associated enterprise from another associated enterprise and resale to the unrelated party. Then we can apply the what, ma? Resale price method. What is that? Base we have to take CUP method, comparable uncontrollable price. What is the base we have to take for the cost plus method? Yes, sir. Yes, what is the base, ma? Gross profit margin. What is that? Base we have to take for the resale price method, ma? Yes, resale price charged. We have to take it as a base. So if you know that what is a base point, we have to start the computation of ALP, then you can do all the things. Next, profit split method. Next method is nothing but what, ma? Profit split method. TNMM method. Yes, ma? TNMM method. Yes, I will give you one question from the workbook. I will give you the one question from the workbook for the TNMM method. Transactional net margin method. So that you can do directly, and in handwritten notes also I presented the all the things, and this incorporation I think we have. This is only, you have to do this question without any failure, because this is a question given in December 23 examination for 7 mark. So very easy question, ma. You can solve directly, no issue. Now we can go to the last method, that is a profit split method. Profit split method, we don't have any questions from the CA as well as any other sources also, but our ICMI workbook now introduced the profit split method related question. Now we can start the profit split method question. Yes, look at the question number 3 directly, and we can close this session for now. After this question, we can close the session, ma. Indian Tech Limited, Indian company, designs a proprietary solar drone. Yes, ma, they are designed the what, ma? Drone. It's a Singapore subsidiary Sky Tech Private Limited develops an advanced navigation software integrates with the drone. That means Indian company and their associated enterprises, both the persons are developing one project that is a drone. Sir, what is that service they are given? Ma, software service they are given. Both the drone and softwares are key commercial success of the product. So always the drone product sales are very high. So, but what is the key success? Ma? Both the drone as well as software. Hardware, simply hardware developed by the Indian company, software developed by the Singapore. Now, Intech manufactures and supplies the drone to the hardware to the, yes, we are already done, hardware to the Skytech. Skytech integrates the software, sell the products to that what ma unrelated customers. So remember, if that associated enterprises are executing one project as a joint venture, so now definitely we have to solve the ALP as per that which method ma? Profit split method only. Here joint venture only. We are developed the hardware. That's why we are supplied to the Skytech. Skytech is supplied to that what ma? Unrelated customers. Now, due to uniqueness of the technology, no direct comparabilities are exist. So we can't say what is a profit margin, etc. Traditional methods like cup, T and MM, not reliable, applicable. They are directly saying, don't go with the cup method, don't go with the T and MM method. Now this is a very important line. Comparable market return for routine manufacturers. Remember, routine manufacturers without intangibles is 12% on what ma? Manufacturing cost. So return on manufacturing cost is nothing but what ma? 12%. They are given the financial data. What is the cost incurred by the Skytech as well as Indian company total, as well as what is that? What is the sale price ma? Finally, who are doing the sale ma? Skytech. And these are the cost totally both the sides they are incurred. This is an minus cost minus sales minus cost. This is an what ma? Profit they got. Now, how they can apportion this profit? That is only the point. Compute arm's length price. Remember, step 1 ma, they are given the beautiful presentation. Remember, routine returns to the manufacturing. Can you tell me what is that manufacturing returns ma? 12%. Please apply for 400 into 12%, 500 into 12%. Indian Tech, Skytech. So total routine return will be, yes ma, 108. Just rupees you can calculate 108, because the manufacturing cost related returns will be at the rate of 12%. They are clearly given. Now, sir, total return this one ma, routine return if you are removing, yes, 550 is a total return. Remove the routine returns, remaining profits you can get. Remaining profit how much ma? 14 points, sorry, remaining profit means nothing but 15.50 minus routine profits, that is an 1442. Now, so step 2, residual profit we calculate. Split, that is only profit split. Residual profit based on development effort. Manufacturing cost they can allocate, everyone can take 12% on that profit. But remaining residuary profit we can allocate based on development cost. How we can know? Development cost. Operating cost means salaries, etc. Everyone can incur. Development cost, yes, can you tell me? Here 150 divided by 250. Here 100 divided by what? 250 percentage. So total development cost is 250. What is their contribution? 150. Their contribution is 100. If you are calculating the percentage, how much you will get? 60 percentage, 40 percentage. Residuary profit is allocated based on development cost. You can't follow the what? Operating cost, because operating cost can be incurred for them, and development cost only is related for that manufacturing process. That's why we are taking this base for the split the residuary profit. Remember, routine profit this one, residuary profit also this one, added, this will be the total profit. Our Indian entity transfer price we can calculate, manufacturing cost 400, manufacturing cost 400, development cost, operating cost, totally how much, 650. Yes, I'm taking this 650. For this 650, return I have to add 60. Sorry, routine return I have to add 48. Residuary profit share I have to add 865. This is only the transfer price I have to charge. This is only the share price or transfer price I have to charge. This is a new problem. Yes, there is no reliable comparable to exist. Profit split is the most appropriate. So now they are writing all the things, ma. They are writing the note point. Profit is allocated based on relative contribution to intangibles. That is only the development cost. Without intangibles means manufacturing related directly you can take 12%. The remaining development cost like intangibles, what is a know-how, what is a patents you are used, in that ratio you can. So it is a 1 minute problem if you know. So can you tell me first what we need to do, ma? On this 12% you can take. The remaining, yes, what is a 12% means how much is gone, ma? 108 is gone. Okay, 1550 minus 108 if you taken the balance amount you can allocate based on development cost. So you will get the, yes, Indian entity manufacture routine profit and residuary profit also you know. So then for this cost if you are added the profit, that is only the transfer price for the Indian tech. Remember when we can use the profit split method for doing the question, profit split method, how we can do when associated enterprises are executed the joint venture, then we have to compute the ALP by using the profit split method only. Then TNMM method related, you can solve the directly workbook question. Yes, 24 you can solve. For the supporting purpose I provided the, yes, I provided the detailed working also. Yes, question number 24 related detailed working also I provided. You can take the help of this handwritten and you can complete the question number 24 on your own. Then from my side, total transfer pricing discussion almost over. From your side only you have to do the practice of the questions very fast you can do. So thank you. This is only the transfer pricing discussion from my side, and at any cost you have to do this question number 3 before going to that exam. In CA resources also we don't have that any question related to profit split method. Now only we have one question. So this is a very easy question. Yes, you have to calculate that thing. Sir, which method are most repeated? Most repeated method is a cup method. But expect the unexpected things. Newly released workbook, in that they mentioned the profit split. That's why I'm expecting this illustration 3 directly in our exam. Most repeatedly they are given the cup method only. So if you are taking, I will mention. So you have to remember this base. You have to remember this base. Again I will tell you and we can close. If that is a cup method, what is a base? Comparable uncontrollable price. If that is a cost plus method, yes, what is a base we have to take? Always adjustment needs to be done for the gross profit. Resale price we have to take and we can do that adjustment. Profit split method, they will give you the reasonable basis in the question itself. On the reasonable basis, please split the profit and add it to the cost. You will get the arm's length price. Yeah, thank you. TNMA method you can do, you don't ignore the TNMA method. You can do the TNMA method on your own. Don't ignore the TNMA method. Thank you. And you can order the books from my app also. You can purchase the soft copies also. Yes, whatever the things you can do. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Simply, I can ignore the discussion after 2 hours. I can give you all the things as a self-study only, but I don't want to do that type of things. If I am saying that one promise, yes, I want to give the revision. Yes, I done that revision from my side. Transfer pricing. If you have an energy, if you understood this session, directly you will get the 25 to 30 marks. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Lali, please check the community post. Maybe you will get the schedule of the revision series. So billing rate means how we are adding the gross profit. But in CA final material, they are taking the billing rate means sale price. That is not correct. But our institute always saying the billing rate means gross profit rate only. So CMA aspirant, I will release the important questions tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I will try to post that important questions for the completed revision chapters like basic concepts, return of income, transfer pricing related questions. I will post in the Telegram groups. Yeah. Take a break. Enjoy.